Welcome back, family. Before the video starts, I just want to thank all my channel members for the support. This case will haunt Japan for all of eternity. Japan is the safest country in the world. Okay, let's see it.
I agree, this case is absolutely horrible. In fact, it'd be hard to find worse, but this does not really represent the entirety of Japan.
Okay.
This video first starts off light and happy with things people commonly say about Japan. Japan's the safest country in the world. Everyone in Japan is super polite. I wish I could live there. Video then closes out with this black and white image in stark contrast to the beginning. This video is making reference to a very famous and extremely disturbing case that took place in Japan, the Junko Furuta case. This case happened in 1988, and it saw Junko get abducted by these 4 adolescents that for 40 days had their way with her, tortured her, and did a variety of other heinous acts. Junko lost her life, and her body was later discovered in a concrete-filled barrel. 4 perpetrators saw prison sentences ranging from 7 to 20 years, so that period of time has passed, and if they are still alive, they are out there now. I don't think it's fair to generalize the entire safety of a country, though, based off of 1 or 2 really disturbing cases. Every country has their dark pasts.
Very true. I feel like almost every country has like the news that doesn't really get globalified, like the low-key things that happen that are super tragic that don't hit the mainstream. I feel like every country has something like this. I guess I'm a conspiracy theorist. Let's see it.
So this guy's on top of a tower, and we don't have enough service for him to keep them in his ears.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to believe that we got a phone call from the moon.
Bumbleclot. She just exposed the whole moon landing. That's a fact. Yo. How the hell? He's brought the top of a building, but he can't connect to the people at the bottom. But we can connect to the moon. To the moon. But we can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Bad connection here on Earth, but to the moon we have amazing connection, amazing video HDness. We have amazing communications. Okay, buddy. Okay.
How many years ago?
Yeah, in 1969.
A man was hiking alone in the mountains when something strange happened. Let's see it.
Don't step off the trail.
Oh, wow. To be fair, that honestly might be an angel compared to like a demon.
You brush your teeth twice a day because you think I protect you. Ha ha. But you swallow me every night. Fluoride, artificial dyes, foaming chemicals, fake flavor oils. Most of you don't even rinse me out.
Your gums absorb things faster than your stomach ever could. So when chemicals sit in your mouth, they don't leave. You don't care though, right?
Some toothpastes contain microplastics, tiny plastic particles grinding into your gums, becoming part of you forever. They say fluoride protects your teeth, but it builds up in your bones and never fully leaves your body either. Fluoride calcifies tissue in your brain, the same brain you use to question things. Maybe that's the point. Your mouth isn't supposed to be sterile. You're frying your natural bacteria twice a day. No wonder your gums bleed. Dentist approved, clinically proven, safe for daily use. Same companies that sold you lead paint and asbestos. Seems legit. If it's so safe, why does it glow like radioactive slime?
Wow.
What else does it do in the dark? You don't brush your teeth, I brush you!
You're all right.
Yeah, chat, if you guys didn't know, they apparently said that fluoride is really bad for your brain. And I mean, according to this reel too, they said that it's also bad for your bones. I didn't know that one, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy how like, yes, you know what I'm saying, you clean your teeth and like it makes your teeth very healthy, but it also damages your brain. Kind Kind of a double whammy if you ask me.
The highest urban free solo in history was just completed by Alex Honnold. Alex climbed Taiwan's Taipei 101 without ropes or any safety gear. Taipei 101 is one of the tallest buildings in the world at over 660 feet tall with 101 stories. And Alex climbed it in just 1 hour and 31 minutes, officially making it the biggest urban free solo ever. For any other human on Earth, this would have been an impossible task. But for Alex, this isn't even the hardest thing he's done. Back in 2018, Alex Honnold became the only human to ever free solo El Capitan in Yosemite National Park, climbing nearly 3,000 feet with no ropes. This historic feat, arguably the greatest athletic achievement of all time, was captured in the Oscar-winning 2018 documentary Free Solo. So scaling the 11th tallest building in the world was a walk in the park for him. He was giving interviews during the climb. He was waving to fans inside the building while casually dangling over 1,000 feet in the air. And while his strength is impressive, his real superpower is his mental control. Alex Honnold is scientifically built different. Brain scans showed that he has a reduced fear response, allowing him to rely on muscle memory and training instead of panic. And you can see this calmness as he says hi to his wife on the 60th floor. So is it fair to say that Alex Honnold is the greatest athlete of all time?
Dude, just watching that video made me a little bit anxious for him, and I'm not even there. I do gotta say though, you know what I'm saying? This kind of proves how mentality and how your mental focus and mental power overcomes anything in reality, if I'm being honest. Because in my opinion, if he was in a panicked or feared state, he would 100% fell. But he was calm, he was relaxed, and I feel like the mechanism of fear in humans and panic is kind of a weird one because it doesn't really benefit you in any way, shape, or form. Because when you're at complete relaxation, that's when I feel like people truly perform their best. So
Ethiopian 777 has veered off of the runway after landing in Budapest, and emergency services asked the captain if they could use reverse thrust to get out.
Any chance you can use the reverse to back up?
The flight was from Hong Kong to Budapest, as seen here. Now, I'm not sure exactly how they even got stuck in the grass, because as you can see, they took a right turn here, but they didn't take it too sharp and cut it short. They made the corner, but then kept turning and ended up in the grass.
Yeah, man, it's pretty simple how that happened. Ice. You know what I'm saying? They were turning and then they probably just slipped on some ice and boom, before you know, they're off course.
Did you guys hear about that 911 operator who got a call at 3:30 in the morning from an abandoned funeral home? If you didn't, I'm about to play it for you.
Okay.
But please keep in mind, this is a funeral home where nobody is currently working. Cops drive by it later to see if anybody was there. It's abandoned, the lights are out, nobody's working. And you can just very faintly hear someone talking.
Okay.
911, this is Erica. How can I help you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Mr. Beast exposes how they're creating lab-grown meat.
Subscribe.
I'm guessing that's supposed to say. Okay, Mr. Beast, let's see it.
Yeah, y'all might as well stop eating all types of meat now because Mr. Beast just exposed this company, Upside Foods, that they've been producing genetically modified chickens since 2018.
Wow.
They said it took 220 million chickens to feed Americans per year, but now they just create them in the lab, y'all. This is crazy.
Brings us to Upside Foods that has literally produced hundreds of thousands of pounds of chicken meat without killing a single chicken, which is incredible because over 220 million chickens are killed every single day in order to sustain demands for their meat. And Upside Foods has spent over $200 million in research and development in order to create this technology. Let me show you how we do it. Please do. I don't understand. When we took cells from a chicken egg in 2018, we cracked an egg, We took a small amount of cells and we froze them in this. That goes down to -80. Wow. And you've used those cells to make hundreds of thousands of pounds of chicken meat. Step 2 is we take those cells, we gently thaw them out. Oh my gosh. This is simulating a chicken's body and the cells are just multiplying. Once we get enough of them, we move on to step 3. This is protein, fat, sugar. I'm literally feeding the chicken cells over there so they can multiply into chicken meat. That's right, yes. And once the chicken feed is in the container, it moves all the way through these pipes and through the factory and eventually ends up in here. You can look through this. You'll see chicken cells just swimming and swimming in there. Oh my goodness. It's a lot of chicken. Every 2 seconds, this produces a chicken's worth of chicken meat. Yeah, every few seconds. And saving chicken lives is not the only upside to Upside Foods. These chickens don't get diseases, so you don't have to worry about a disease spreading on the farm and then you eating a sick chicken. Honestly, it seems too good to be true. Well, let's go and try it. Blaze, I need to try it. I need to see how this tastes. Now we're gonna put the meat we just grew to the test. Come on in. I brought one of the best chefs I know, Nick DiGiovanni, and he's prepared for us 2 chicken sandwiches. One of these sandwiches, a chicken was killed today to make. The other, no chickens were killed. It was grown in a lab. Which do you think we'll like better? I think if I cook it right, you won't be able to tell. Okay, this is gonna be a good test.
That's what I think too.
He's now giving me one of these chicken sandwiches. We're both trying this one. Here's what it actually is. Me and Drake do not know. Cheers. Cheers it. Here we go. Well, chicken. Chicken. Now we're gonna try this one. This is what it is. We don't know. Cheers it. Can't tell. It's actually scary how similar they are. I mean, they're both chicken. No matter what, both of them taste really good. This one's the cultivated one. You're wrong. No shot. That's the cultivated one. Honestly, can't tell the difference.
And then to have the audacity to make the logo of the company a heart. And the crazy thing is, this is only one company. Movies has been exposing for years that they've been feeding us different stuff. I don't know about y'all, man, but we shouldn't be eating from these people. Upside Down Foods, you get a thumbs down. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's get it, y'all. Peace in.
Yeah, that is crazy, but I didn't even know we killed 200 million chickens a day. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot. But my thought is, chat, like, do y'all think out of all the years you lived, you never ate lab-grown meat before? In my opinion, if you ate from places like fast food restaurants, packaged meat, you know what I'm saying? One of the biggest examples that we've looked at in our previous videos is Campbell's Chicken Soup, how the CEO said that, you know what I'm saying, their chicken was made in a lab. So if you ever ate Campbell's, you know what I'm saying, that's that right there for you. But do y'all think that for the last, you know what I'm saying, amount of years that you've lived, that you've ever ate lab-grown meat? Because you probably have and just wouldn't even know it. If you drink Campbell's soup, you definitely have. All right, chat. So she's, which is, I'm guessing how you pronounce that word because it might just be a Chinese word. She's right-hand man leaking info to the U.S. government. Damn, there's some moles in China's camp. What is going on, China? All right, chat, let's see the video.
Pretty wild story. Xi Jinping's right-hand man, Zhang Youxia, just got accused of leaking top military information in the United States. This is all in a Wall Street Journal report today that just came out. According to the article, it looks like he leaked information about the country's nuclear weapons program and accepted bribes for official acts, including the promotion of an officer to defense minister. To put this into context, this would be like J.D. Vance leaking information to China. That's how significant this is. Now, as we saw earlier, this is not the first guy to be accused of something. You can see multiple people have been taken out recently. And here's a quick timeline. You can pause and review this right here. But the vice chairman 2 was removed last year. National Minister of Defense removed in 2023. Another one under investigation right now. This person removed in 2025. Xi Jinping cracking down on corruption inside of his government. But man, I hope they make a movie about this guy. It just sounds like a crazy story. I hope we get more details.
Yeah, man, that is crazy. Like, imagine J.D. Vance going to China and being like, yo, this is what the U.S. is doing for nukes. That would be wild, dude. That is insane. Why you need to delete ChatGPT now? Damn. Why do we need to delete ChatGPT, bro? Let's see it.
While I do more or less agree with the sentiment here and fully acknowledge that AI is not the best environmentally, this is misleading. This is a very bleak TikTok slideshow that I got tagged in with a simple call to action, please delete ChatGPT. We then get an image of a polar bear supposedly from 2012, and finally one that looks like it's a couple hours away from dying with 2025 to 2026. Now, right away, this is incorrect. This photo was taken back in 2015 in Svalbard by a photographer. She then posted it to her Facebook and stated that this was the result of climate change. There, of course, was uproar about this photo, but here's the deal. That was also not proven. Sometimes polar bears get sick, sometimes they're injured, and they will eventually starve to death. I am not disputing the fact that AI does have a negative impact as of now, though, on the ecosystem, and that it certainly can have a hand in climate change and therefore killing polar bears. And I do think it's important to always be honest with these slideshows so people know that it's not BS and they will continue to trust information in the future.
This 911 call still has no explanation. Maybe you guys could tell me why. Let me explain. A 911 dispatcher received a call from someone who sounded terrified, claiming that a person was knocking on the bedroom window. What made the call even more unsettling was that the caller said that their bedroom was on the second floor of the house. Dispatcher asked if the caller could see anyone outside, and in a quiet whisper, the caller said no. Seconds later, the knocking stopped completely. Officers were dispatched immediately and arrived to the house within minutes. They searched the whole entire area around the house and checked the windows thoroughly, but could not find anyone. There was no ladder, no footprints, no sign of a forced entry anywhere on the property. The caller refused to give their name and never called back. To this day, police say the incident remains unexplained.
Creepy photos that keep me up at night, part 80. This photo was posted to Reddit with the caption, "I was taking a Snapchat streak photo. It was a quick photo I took over my shoulder. I didn't notice the figure until I went to type streaks. When I saw it, I promptly flipped out and sent it to my mom. I thought she was screwing with me, but after I texted her, I found out she wasn't home and hadn't been for like an hour. I used to go to haunted places and do stupid rituals for fun because I wanted to see something. Maybe a month prior to this, my friend and I played the Red Book game." Here's the photo lightened up a bit. Follow for more creepy real photos.
Donald Trump will not finish his term. This is very contradicting to what I've said previously, where I feel like he might run for a third term. But let's see what this guy has to say.
It is very unlikely that Donald Trump will finish his term. Yesterday marked the 1 year mark for him returning to office again, and it doesn't look like he's going to make it to 2028, honestly. It's kind of ironic because he's selling Trump 2028 merchandise and he's having people in his orbit trying to figure out some kind of legal loophole that he can stay in office for more than 2 terms, but it's more likely that he'll keel over before that, right? And this isn't me as like a liberal or anything. This is just me as like a human being with eyes. If you watch this guy speak, it looks like your grandpa about to stroke out or something, right? He's falling asleep in meetings. He's forgetting people's names. He's forgetting the names of countries that he wants to illegally invade. This guy's not all there. He's disappearing for weeks and then returning with half of his face slumped over. He survives on Big Macs and milkshakes, yo. Dead. How could someone with the most stressful job in the world, who is an octogenarian, keep it up for another 3 years? It's literally impossible.
Chat, I mean, this is probably just his opinion, but you know what I'm saying? I definitely think if he does run a third term, there might be a risk of him actually, like, you know what I'm saying, passing away. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's getting up there in ages, and like he said, being a president is one of the most stressful job, and for those who doesn't know, stress kills. So, you know what I'm saying? There is a chance that if he does get a third term, that I don't think he's going to be able to complete it. Or maybe he will, because they've been talking about technology allowing people to live to like 150 years old now. So if he gets his hands on that, maybe he could last. But who knows, chat? Who knows? It's getting scary in the US. Yes, it is. It is getting scary.
Okay, guys, things are getting pretty scary in Minneapolis right now, to the point where Trump is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act and deploy the military, while Tim Walz, the state's governor, has activated the National Guard. So here's what's going on. As you would have heard by now, yesterday there was yet another fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen by an ICE agent, and the man has now been identified as registered nurse Alex Pretty, who also happened to be 37 years old, the same age as Renee Good, who was killed earlier this month. And very similar to that incident as well, federal officials are framing this as a defensive shooting, while state officials are suggesting this is straight up murder. And if you guys thought tensions were high before, you should see what is happening today. Hundreds of protesters have taken to the streets in freezing temperatures, clashing with federal agents, demanding ICE to leave Minneapolis now. One person was arrested after allegedly biting off the fingertip of a federal agent, and I mean off. They posted pictures and everything. There were even reports of demonstrators setting up barricades around city blocks. And that's particularly significant because a national security analyst spoke with News Nation, and they said that these barricades could be used as a legal predicate for Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act and deploy active duty military onto the streets of Minneapolis. And this is all while the local police have requested the assistance of Minnesota's National Guard to support the deputies in this growing unrest. So imagine a situation here where you have the National Guard, local police, ICE agents, and army troops all in the same city. There's even an Antifa member going viral right now on X calling for people to suit up, arm themselves, and he said that he is not talking about peaceful protests anymore. So yeah, a lot could unfold in the next few days. So as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
It's crazy how we might enter World War III, but we also might have a civil war. Chat, if we end up having a World War III and then a civil war on top of that, the U.S. is cooked. The U.S. is cooked.
In 1941, an old man began hearing weird noises in his home, but each time he went to go check them, he found nothing. He didn't believe much in the supernatural, so he plainly figured it was just the house settling. Unfortunately, he was very wrong. The strange incidents continued for 5 weeks until the old man, Philip Peters, found something standing at his fridge. It appeared to be an abnormally slender, tall man, and Peters panicked, swinging his cane at it. However, the intruder swung back, knocking him to the ground. He then continued to bludgeon Peters until it was clear he was no longer alive. He was discovered later that day, but the police found no signs of forced entry, and even noted that all the windows and doors were still locked. They did find a small trapdoor in the ceiling of a closet, but determined that it was physically impossible for anyone to enter it. Therefore, they never checked inside. Philip Peters' wife returned to the house soon after his death and hired a housekeeper to help her out. But once again, strange incidents kept occurring. They soon became convinced that the home was haunted, which led to the housekeeper's resignation and the widow's moving away. But even after the house was vacated, the neighbors still noticed apparitions in the windows and lights flickering on in the middle of the night. After they knocked, nobody would answer. After receiving so many calls about this house, the Denver police decided to station 2 officers outside to keep an eye on it. And late one night, they finally spotted the figure themselves. They ran inside and immediately heard a door handle move on the 2nd floor. They bolted after the sound and made it just in time to spot a pair of legs climbing up into the closet trap door. They reached inside, caught the man by his legs, and yanked him back out. The man's name was Theodore Coneys, and he'd come to be known as the Denver Spider-Man. He confessed to the murder of Philip Peters and admitted to living in the attic for roughly 9 months.
Crazy.
That Disney once built a ride that was so terrifying that they literally had to stop running it. Welcome back to Secrets of the Kingdom, where we dive into Disney's lore, forgotten history, and crazy urban legends. So before Stitch moved into Tomorrowland, there was an attraction there that was so scary, it felt like it belonged more in Horror Nights than it did in any Disney park.
Yeah.
And that attraction was called the Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, a sensory thriller from Disney and George Lucas. So during this experience, you would get locked in your seat. As you can see, people that were in the audience had over-the-shoulder restraints like you would see in a roller coaster that goes upside down. And after you were locked into your seat, the lights went out and a huge alien escaped into the crowd. So you would hear it stalking around the room, breathing on your neck, and then a warm kind of like drool would start dripping onto your shoulders in the dark. And yes, this is at Magic Kingdom. You would even hear a maintenance worker get attacked above you. You'd hear glass shattering, bones crunching, and you cannot move at all in your seat as all of this is going on. So parents obviously flooded guest relations with complaints that the ride was traumatizing for their kids, and rightfully so. I thought Dinosaur was scary as a kid, but this is like Dinosaur on crack.
Took place in Aguascalientes, and basically what happened is the same way that the episode shows. There was this dumpster diver who came across his body on November 12th, 1999. Took it out. It was a little boy wrapped in like tablecloth and like a blanket, right? And it was inside a box of eggs. He obviously called the authorities. They came, and just like in the episode, for a minute the little boy went unidentified. Nobody was claiming him. Nobody was saying, yeah, this is my son. Nobody knew a name. Nothing. After the episode aired, people started coming out and saying, we know who this little boy is. One of the people being the biological grandma of the kid, Dylan Randall Mercado Gonzalez.
Bro, what the?
So she came out and said, oh, this is my grandson. They obviously asked for proof because
anybody could come out and say that.
Yeah, so she ends up pulling up pictures identical to the little boy. They obviously tell her the news that he was dead. He got brutally beaten to death. And she ended up saying that multiple times she had tried to report the mom and the stepfather to child services because she knew of the abuse that the little boy was constantly going through.
And nobody did anything?
Nobody was doing anything. She even said, I could take full custody of him. You guys don't have to worry about him, but like stop abusing him, right?
Did it say how old this kid was?
He was only 4 years old. So now they got 2 suspects, but they ended up fleeing and the cops were like actively searching. They weren't finding nobody. The case even went cold for a minute. 26 years later, they finally find and arrest the parents and shit.
Oh, so that's 2025.
January 5th of 2025.
Do you know where they caught them?
I believe.
To this day, nobody knows how they died. Let's see it.
Every year, like clockwork, this case reinserts itself into the mainstream, and there's a very good reason for that. It's largely unsolved. This video that I got tagged in features a couple images of these 2 Dutch girls by the name of Chris Kremers and Lisanne Froon. And between the smiling photos, we get creepy photos taken from their camera during the last few days of their lives. This case took place back in 2014 when Chris and Lisanne decided to travel to Panama. During this trip, the women decided to go on El Pianista, a hiking trail, where they would subsequently go missing and not be found for months. Their backpack was eventually found 10 weeks after they went missing. The camera that Chris and Lisanne carried with them had multiple photos, including these very creepy ones taken in the dark when they were missing. Remains would then later be found as well, spread out, with their theorized cause of death being a fall from a cliff, but that was never really confirmed. To this day, nobody knows how they died. There are lots of very bizarre and disturbing theories out there. If you guys want to go down the rabbit hole, just set aside a lot of time because it's very in-depth.
They have invented contacts that can now see things that the naked eye cannot see. Damn. Let's see it.
What's that? Oh, they've invented contacts that can now see things that the naked eye can't see, as well as see in the dark? Tell me more. Yeah, what's happening is they're putting the contacts in and they're seeing weird creatures that they can't see with the naked eye, which is freaking them out, so they don't know if they want to release them yet until they can just only see in the dark. That's awesome. The testers of these contacts said that they saw creatures that looked dark and had glowing eyes, as well as long fingers. Okay. The testers said that they could actually see super well in the dark, but what was strange is they could close their eyes and still see through their eyelids, even in the dark.
That's crazy.
Many of them had to stop testing them because of the things they were seeing and how creeped out they got. One of them also said that one of these dark creatures leaped forward at them and went through their body, they said. I like that.
So this is a photo that was taken over the weekend, I believe, at a vampire bar in New Orleans. If you guys are new here, I speak about vampires all the time. So what we have a picture of here is an actual immortal vampire. This is a vampire that has skipped over the second passing and has achieved immortality. If you have ever read the book by John Greer that I always recommend, named Monster, this is exactly what he describes a immortal vampire to look like. You see, there's 2 different types of vampires. There's mortal vampires that are participating in Luciferian rituals in order to achieve immortality, and there's vampires that have gone through the immortality ritual in order to skip over the second passing because they feel as though their job on Earth is not done. As you can see, a vampire looks very different from a ghost, and I'm going to explain why. Immortal vampires will mostly have more structure and look more human than an actual ghost. They come through as very fleshy, bright, misty, etheric energy, whereas ghosts cannot hold the same form. Before anybody gets freaked out, immortal vampires are also very, very rare, especially in the United States. If you guys are ever traveling to New Orleans, Salem, Massachusetts, they have these vampire bars all around there. So please be careful. And I also have seen them start popping up in Tampa, in Los Angeles, and in New York City.
8 facts about the atomic bomb that they did not teach you in history class. All right, let's see it.
Here's 8 dark facts about the atomic blast that they didn't teach you in history class. Alright, number 1, the blast was so intense that it left these permanent human shadows where people were standing when they were vaporized.
Yeah,
so
that's
backtrack
crazy.
about a month, the US tested their first atomic blast in the desert of New Mexico on July 16, 1945, and it was called the Trinity test. That was successful, and then about a week later they hit up Japan and demanded them to surrender. Japan ended up ignoring the warning, and about 2 weeks later the US decided to take action. On August 6, 1945, the Enola Gay took off at around 7 a.m. heading towards Hiroshima, which was a city in Japan with about 350,000 people. And on board was the atomic you-know-what, and they nicknamed it Little Boy. Sirens go off around the city at 7 a.m., but there's no initial attack, so people just go back to normal, and then about an hour later, the Enola Gay makes it over the city. They spot their target, which is the Shima Surgical Clinic, which is in the center of the city, and then they drop it. It actually explodes about 1,600 feet above the ground. The blast was so intense it created heat over 10,000 degrees, which literally vaporized people where they were standing. And the reason these shadows exist is that's actually what it looked like before, where the people were standing, and then the rest was bleached by the heat. I found this one, but I'm not sure if it's actually real or an artist like rendition that's inspired by it. Definitely creepy if it's real. The whole city was basically on fire, and for those who were not vaporized or killed by the blast, a lot of them were running around trying to escape the intense heat, so many ran to the rivers, jumped in wells or whatever they could find, but ended up being boiled alive. Damn. Because intense heat had superheated everything. And number 3, for those who did survive, they described seeing what they called walking ghosts, which were people that were literally having their skin melting off, their eye sockets were like hanging, and they were just kind of stumbling through the debris, and then it would eventually collapse. As if that wasn't enough, then there was the black rain that came afterwards, which was all the radioactive particles that rained back down on the city, that contaminated the ground, the water, and pretty much gave all the survivors radiation poisoning, which then led to the Purple Death. So radiation poisoning, as we learned about in my Chernobyl video, is pretty horrible. Essentially, the radiation kills your cells and they continue to die, and so people start literally dissolving from the inside out. People's skin start to turn purple and peel off down to the bone and just bleed everywhere. Their organs literally start to dissolve. They start coughing up pieces of their own lung. They have diarrhea with blood because it's pieces of their organs. Some people pass away sooner than others. Some people it takes weeks, if not a month. And in part 2, we're going to talk about how there's people that actually survived both of the atomic blasts, because there was 2. So if you guys are ready for that video, let me know.
Yeah, man, like you said, there were 2 people that survived, and one of the survivors actually survived the original one. Went to, I'm pretty sure it was in Nagasaki or the other part of Japan that got bombed, and then got bombed again and survived. Insanity. But yeah, bro, atomic bombs, nuclear bombs are nothing to play with, dude. And the bombs and the nuclear bombs that we have today are way stronger than what we dropped in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So, you know what I'm saying? If a nuke was supposed to go off today, it would be a lot worse than what happened in Japan. Let's just pray to God that none of us get to see anything like that and we all just have world peace. You know what I'm trying to say, chat? All right, chat. Why you should always shake your shoe out? What played in my head when I found this by my shoe? By this, I'm guessing he means this, which is, I guess, a spider. Let's see the video. Let's see what's going on.
Why you should always shake your shoes out.
Ho, ho, ho. Realistically, even though this is not very fun to look at, this is not that big of a deal and you were in no immediate danger. This video that I got tagged in shows a large insect crawling along the ground, and apparently the person that filmed this video found this large insect in their shoe. Those of you interested in entomology or the study of bugs might have immediately recognized the insect as a potato bug, also known as a Jerusalem cricket. These guys grow to be quite large. As you can see, this one's a couple inches in length. They're also very thick as well, and they spend most of their time living underground, so I am pretty surprised you found one in your shoe. That is very strange, I'll admit. Generally speaking though, these guys are not harmful towards humans whatsoever, even though they look a little bit creepy, but they do have a reasonably painful bite. There's no venom involved and it feels like a small pinch, probably not the most comfortable to be bit by one. This is why I always check my shoes before I put them on, not for Jerusalem crickets specifically, but any insect. If you want to find one of these yourself, all you really have to do is go digging in the garden. There are tons of them where I live.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I first thought that was a spider, but it's just a cricket. That's not that big of a deal. But you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I'll still knock my shoes out before I wear them.
Air Force One had an electrical issue last night while flying over the Atlantic. It then had to turn around, head back to Washington, and be replaced by a plane that's never used as Air Force One. The original Air Force One, the VC-25, basically a 747-200, took off last night from Joint Base Andrews as normal. It began transporting Trump over the Atlantic towards Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. But it didn't get far. While south of Long Island, the plane suffered a minor electrical issue, that's a quote, and did a 180 heading back to Washington. But this is where it gets interesting. It didn't get replaced by the other VC-25. Instead, it got replaced by a Boeing C-32, which is a 757, a plane that's usually used as Air Force Two. Seeing a C-32 here on flight radar with the call sign AF1 is pretty cool. Anyway, that plane, the C-32, then completed the flight as normal.
Yeah, when I first heard about that, for some reason I thought it was a situation where like they were threatening to like take him out of the sky or something, but I heard it was just an electrical issue. That's probably no big deal for them.
What if Erica Kirk's been around for a really, really long time?
This is Erica Kirk. Another Erica Kirk. Same exact name, same exact spelling, both political wives, both married to outspoken Republicans. Current Erica is nicknamed Miss Arizona, and the first Erica was nicknamed Madam X. People called the first Erica Kirk Madam X because they say she just kind of showed up out of nowhere. Both have striking blue eyes and blonde hair. They even do their eyeliner the same, and personally, I think they have the same face structure. The first Erica Kirk passed away now, but was from Palm Beach County, Florida, which raises another huge red flag. If you've been following my videos, you know why. I don't want to tell you guys what to think. I'm simply giving you the information. Do you think these are like all coincidences, or is there something else going on here?
I'm not gonna lie, if that was a real story, Chad, that's insane. I'm not gonna lie. 2 different Erica Kirks with the same kind of upbringing. That's like prime example of history repeating itself.
These are 7 weird things that actually exist in Venezuela. They have this persistent storm that produces lightning for 160 nights a year, 10 hours a day, and it's been going on since the 16th century. What's crazy is back in the day, sailors used it as a natural lighthouse. No other storm on Earth behaves like this. In Venezuela, there is a mountain with a perfect flat top, and you might recognize it from the movie Up. Angel Falls, the tallest waterfall on Earth, actually comes off of it. It drops 3,200 feet, which is nearly 3 times taller than the Eiffel Tower. There's the Venezuelan poodle moth, which was only discovered in 2009, and it looks like a fluffy white Pokemon. Venezuela has this abandoned skyscraper inhabited entirely by squatters. It's home to over 2,500 people, and residents use motorcycles to travel between the lower floors, and it even has an unlicensed dentist. There's a small town in Venezuela that was founded by German immigrants in 1843 that is insanely authentic with food, architecture, and language. It's known as the Germany of the Caribbean. They have a little Venice in Venezuela where a bunch of houses are built on stilts called palafitos. Venezuela has this ice cream shop with over 900 flavors, and it used to hold the Guinness World Record. Some of the ice cream options include garlic, beer, and spaghetti.
Would you guys eat garlic ice cream? Yeah, that sounds kind of wrong to say garlic ice cream. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty open-minded person. I like to try new things. So I would try it, honestly. Garlic ice cream, spaghetti ice cream. Interesting.
Everyone is going crazy after seeing videos of Russia under 500 feet of snow. If you haven't seen, Russia literally just got a record amount of snow and people are sledding down hotel roofs. It's gotten so bad, people don't even know how to distinguish if the videos going around are AI or real. The main reason why everyone thinks it's fake is because of the massive snow drifts. These are caused by wind flowing in between buildings, which ends up leading to a huge mountain of snow. That's not even the craziest part. People are jumping off their balconies for fun. I mean, you know it's bad when you can open your door and use it as a freezer. And you won't believe me when I say Russians are trying to leave even though their cars are clearly buried.
That's insane, dude.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Russia has received the biggest snowstorm it's ever gotten in over 124 years. Now, I live in Canada. I've been seeing a lot of snow, but nothing like this. It's really making me wonder what is going on. Is all of this natural, just God's plan, or is something much deeper and much more sinister going on here? You guys know I've been exposing the fake snow here in Canada. When you try to burn it, it just burns black. It doesn't melt. It smells like plastic. So I really think that Canada's doing the same thing as maybe Russia, but I'm not 100% sure. If anyone is in Russia and wants to try this, let me know. My intuition's really just telling me that none of this is natural, that something else is going on here. Weather manipulation, possibly from other countries, because they can do that. We are always at war with these specific countries because they don't have Rothschild central banks and all this stuff. So maybe, just maybe, this is what's happening. and it's leaving no fingerprints attached. That's the whole plan. Look up HAARP, look up geoengineering, look up chemtrails, all this stuff. That's what's causing these weather events. I'm not 100% sure. This is just a hypothesis. I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist once again, guys. But let me know what you think about this storm that's happening in Russia right now in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, and follow for more hidden truth. Peace and love.
Scientists just found hidden voids inside the pyramids of Giza, and one of them has a sealed door that nobody has opened in over 4,000 years, and they're about to reveal what's inside of it. So the pyramids are obviously like 4,500 years old, and we've been exploring them for centuries, but somehow we are still finding things that nobody knew was there. Researchers from Cairo University just discovered 2 hidden voids inside the smallest pyramid of the 3 main Giza pyramids. They're saying that these voids have been hidden behind a wall, and they think that there might be a secret entrance to them that's been hidden this entire time. Egypt's most famous archaeologist just announced that there's a 30-meter void inside the Great Pyramid of Khufu, and what's inside that void is a sealed door. Do you guys understand what's happening here? Nobody has ever opened that door, and nobody knows what's in it. They were able to find all of this by using technology that lets you basically scan through solid stone without breaking anything at all. And they are going to reveal what's behind that door sometime this year in 2026. Can you guys just sit back and think about this for a second with me? We've had the pyramids sitting there for thousands of years, and we're still finding hidden chambers with sealed doors that have never been opened. What could possibly be behind this door that's been sitting in the pyramids hidden for 4,500 years? I'm absolutely going to be obviously following this story if you can't tell, so if you want to hear about what they find behind this door, you want to make sure you go ahead and add me now because you're going to hear it here first.
This is a random thought. My thought is if the US could use their technology to map out the insides of like people's buildings and stuff, why don't they just do that for the pyramids? So then we can actually know what's in the pyramids, or like, honestly, they might already know. They just don't want to tell the public. That might be classified information.
They built a retirement home for Gen Z. The average age to be in a retirement home is around 85 years old. But now, in 2026, Gen Z is pushing that way down. Because in the country of Malaysia, they recently opened something known as a youth retirement home that specifically targets Gen Z clients. And to make sure you all know, the oldest Gen Z is only around 28 to 29 years old. And the retirement home was created to give young adults a real break from modern pressures, relieve their stress, and escape the concept of having goals. Now, at this retirement home, Gen Zers do absolutely nothing. You literally just retire. You can sleep till whenever you want, and you have no schedules, and you receive 3 meals a day, also while being in a quiet environment. It costs around $450 a month to retire, and believe it or not, but the first month it opened, it's already fully booked. You know that old saying it says, work until you retire? Well, Gen Z pretty much just said, retire first.
Choose your path.
I'm gonna go with blue, chat. What y'all thinking? Blue or red? I'm doing blue. Let's see it. He's pointing to red, so, you know what I'm saying? That might be a sign, but let's see it.
The path you choose will be your destiny for the next 24 hours. Left. Welcome to level 94. Here it is always daytime, and the fields seem endless. You will walk for hours and see nothing new. You can enter any house, but you will find no water and no food.
What?
Everything here is empty. At least you can rest on the bed. Right. Welcome to the space station. Alan will prepare all the sushi you want, and Bob will make all the drinks you want. Just be kind to the Gorblobs. When you are tired, you can go to your capsule to rest. Subscribe.
Yo, that tripped me out, dude. Why did that do that knocking sound? But, I mean, they both weren't that bad, to be honest. But what did you guys get? Like, did you pick red or did you pick blue?
Lake Van. It's located in eastern Turkey. In 2017, these divers discovered a 3,000-year-old stone fortress in this lake. The scientists think that it's involved with this Urartu civilization. It dates back to the 9th and 6th century BC.
Wow.
But what this Urartu civilization was good at was building stuff.
Cool.
Specifically, megalithic structures. These people, they were highly advanced in the Iron Age kingdom. They often went and battled the Assyrians. They don't know what this fortress was used for. They don't know how it got underwater. Like, it's this huge mystery. But, like, no one's ever really dived in there because it's, like, super uninhabitable. So who knows what else is down there? But what else might be down there? A sea monster. It's called the Lake Van monster. People have described it even back to the ancient days. This creature is 30 to 50 feet long, and it is serpentine or eel-like, dark, sometimes described as humped. There's this Armenian mythology around this lake. They would call them Vishops. They're basically these serpent or dragon-like beings that had like this very spiritual aspect to them. But there's a lot of fishermen that say like this thing pops up right by their boat and it's longer than the boat. And all these people have seen it and they're like, oh, it's just a wave because the waves look very serpent-like.
Very humpy.
This yeah.
The lies that Disney sneaks in order not to traumatize children. Disney, what are you doing? Let's see it, chat.
The lies that Disney sneaks in order not to traumatize children. Pocahontas. She was 10 years old.
What the?
And he was 27.
What?
Called him father.
That is insane. Paranormal rules you should never break. Let's see it.
A particular set of rules that they say to follow if you ever encounter the paranormal. Like, for instance, if someone knocks on your door after midnight, you do not answer it. If the phone rings after midnight, you're not supposed to answer it. If something calls your name, it's said that if you respond, it could possess you. If you go to a funeral, and when you're leaving, you should never look back until you get home. If you were in a cemetery, and you should never step on the gravestones or in front of them. Also, if you're at a cemetery, when you drive past the cemetery gates, you should hold your breath. And when you leave a cemetery, always check your back seat. Now, when you're at home, you should never have a mirror facing the bed. And you should never have two mirrors facing each other. It's also said that you should never, ever name a spirit in your home. You should never try and communicate with it, and you should never acknowledge it. So what do you think? What rules have you heard to protect yourself or keep yourself safe from the paranormal?
A man kept seeing someone standing in his neighbor's window every night, always in the same spot, never moving. He thought maybe it was a mannequin, but something felt wrong. One evening he decided to knock on the door and ask about it. His neighbor answered, looking confused about the complaint. The man pointed at the window. The figure was still there, perfectly still. They both walked inside together to check the room. The room was completely empty, just furniture, shadows, and an old mirror. His neighbor laughed it off as a reflection or some trick of light. The man apologized for wasting his time and went home, but that night he saw it again. Same window, same exact position. He grabbed his binoculars this time to get a better look. That's when he noticed something that made his blood run cold. The figure was wearing the exact same clothes his neighbor had on earlier that day. The same shirt, the same pants. Everything matched perfectly, and the figure was staring directly back at him through the binoculars. Not blinking, not moving, just staring. He called the police immediately. When officers arrived, they made him come to the neighbor's house. What they showed him made him wish he never looked through that window.
In 2010, a 15-year-old boy started to notice that the door to his attic, which was in his bedroom, was always open. One day, when his mom's giving him a hard time about being lazy, he's like, well, you're one to talk. You always leave my attic door open. She's like, I haven't touched your attic door in months, and nobody else has either. Not easily frightened, the boy decides to leave the attic door open. And so he's laying in bed, and he kind of looks over at the door, and standing in the door frame is a figure staring right at him. He bolts, tells his parents, they don't believe him, and then 6 months later they move anyway. A few years later, the boy discovers his favorite teacher actually moved into his old house. And so he jokingly asks her, you ever see any ghosts walking around your attic? Her face got completely serious, and she's like, as soon as we moved in, the door to the attic kept opening. So we investigated, and we found a trap door that led onto the roof. Someone had been crawling in through that entrance and living in the attic for years.
If Jeffrey Dahmer scares you, then you haven't heard of Joseph Fritzl. In 1984, Joseph Fritzl lured his 18-year-old daughter Elizabeth into their basement. He drugged her, locked the door, and she vanished. For 24 years, she was imprisoned directly beneath her own family home. Her mother lived upstairs, completely unaware. Joseph told everyone Elizabeth ran away to join a cult. They believed him. In that cellar, Elizabeth gave birth to 7 children, his children. 3 of them he brought upstairs as abandoned babies, claiming Elizabeth left them on the doorstep. His wife raised them, never suspected a thing. The horror ended in 2008 when one captive child fell critically ill. Joseph had to take her to a hospital. Doctors knew immediately something was wrong. Her pale skin, no medical records, her fear, nothing made sense. They pressured Joseph. He cracked. Police found the hidden basement. Elizabeth and her children were freed after 24 years underground.
Damn.
Joseph Fritzl received life in prison for enslavement, rape, and incest. The monster had hidden in plain sight for nearly quarter of a century.
That's kind of scary knowing that there's actually people in the world that's like this, bro. Shaking my head.
Hawkins Lab. Yeah. That's a real place. Yes. Project Montauk. It's in New York. I think it was a girl, right? Died there recently.
Police say the victim was with friends when she fell from the 5-story building. The property is known for its use as a filming location for the Netflix series Stranger Things.
There was people like us that just go and explore stuff. It's abandoned, but people can still go there just to explore, right? I think it was a girl who went with her friend. Police is still investigating right now. People are saying like she off the building. Randomly, right? Conspiracies like, didn't slip? She fell off the building. But we don't know how. We don't know if the friend her off. The only evidence that we have is the Duffer Brothers said in one interview they don't like filming at the basement of the Hawkins Lab because they say that it's haunted.
Definitely there was concerns about Hawkins Lab. Like if you went down to the basements, there was definitely rumors of being haunted, and the vibes were just
some bad. No, you know when you're in a building where something bad happened, and you know this was an old mental institution when
they would take people in these tunnels.
And apparently the reason they had the tunnels was so the neighbors couldn't hear people screaming, which is really dark.
Yeah.
So initially we were going to shoot down there, and Ross and I went down there. We're not
bad fun.
Bad mojo.
If it's not the friend that put her off, maybe it was a voice that got to her that's like, oh, you need to jump. Because how do you be at the top of the building and you fall? Yeah, why was she up there? That's what I'm saying.
Just finally figured out why Donkey was never afraid of Shrek.
Why not?
Well, you know how in the beginning of the first movie, Shrek scares off all these villagers, but he doesn't scare off Donkey.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you fast forward, and Donkey's looking for this flower, a blue flower with red thorns, and he keeps looking and looking and looking. And he says it would be a lot easier if he wasn't colorblind. So Donkey is colorblind, so everyone sees this big green monster, but Donkey just sees a regular guy with weird ears because he doesn't realize that Shrek's green.
That's true.
So he never gets afraid of him because he just thinks he's another human.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the only reason that Shrek and Donkey are friends is because Donkey doesn't see color, literally.
He never should have jumped in the water. Let's see what happens.
He never should have jumped in the water.
Unless this guy had an abundance of cuts on his body or didn't really moisturize after this, he would have been completely okay. This is a relatively old TikTok video that I got tagged in. It shows a guy about to jump into a lake, and you'll notice the water is kind of pinkish. He then jumps in, it says moments before disaster, and it appears as though he's screaming in agony. According to the caption on the original post, this video was recorded at Lake Redbaugh, which is a pink lake very well known located in Senegal. This lake has an extremely high salt content, making it very buoyant and fun to swim in, and the pinkish red color comes from algae. The lake is mostly used for harvesting salt, and as such, there are a lot of people that swim in this water and they dig the salt up from the bottom. So there's really no issue here besides if you have cuts, it's going to hurt a little bit, the salt getting in your wound. And of course, you probably do want to moisturize after this so your skin doesn't dry out, but that's not really a necessity. So really, nothing seems to be wrong here. I think that this is more than likely just theatrics for the video.
Bro just jumped into some really salty water and then just started overreacting. Wow. Erica Kirk plays an assassin in a movie. What? Let's see a chat.
You guys, this Erica Kirk rabbit hole does not stop. You guys won't believe what I found. First, let's start with this event that just passed called Make Heaven Crowded, with her as a guest speaker along with these other guest speakers and this guy over here, Pastor Greg Laurie. Yeah, the same guy who heads up this mega church, Harvest Christian Fellowship, who got hit with SA allegations against young men at a children's home in Romania. And let's not forget, Erica Kirk had a charity group called Romanian Angels who did missions in Romania linked to kids. Got it. Wait, hold up. Is it just me, or this title, Make Heaven Crowded, has a cult, drink the Kool-Aid type of vibe to it? But it doesn't stop there. Did you guys know that she was in a movie that remains unreleased called November Renaissance, where she plays an assassin? And this is her on a rooftop with a sniper rifle. Also, it's important to note, some of the movie's film locations was at Fort Huachuca, the same place that Candace was inquiring about her whereabouts before Charlie died. And if this wasn't weird enough for you guys, where Charlie's demise lines up with this movie named Snake Eyes, where a guy named Charles Kirkland gets shot in the neck on September 10th, and a bunch of other coincidences, well, that's where it just begins. Can anybody tell me why there's another Erica Kirk, spelled the same way with the K, who married this former governor of Florida named Claude Kirk? What? Who's also a blonde and also an actress like the current Erica Kirk, and married a guy with the same initials, CK. Says right here, she was an actress whom he had met during an unsuccessful business venture in Brazil, which is eerily similar to Charlie and Erica starting out as business because he interviewed her and then turned into more. Now, it says that she passed away in 2023 at the age of 88. And Erica Kirk was born in 88. Weird. Gets even weirder though, because the original Erica Kirk was first introduced as Madam X, which is the same name of this album put out by Madonna, released June 14th, Trump's birthday. I don't even know what to do with this. I mean, it is pretty interesting that Candace Owens shares text messages of Charlie Kirk saying that he thinks he's a time traveler. Really makes you think. Make sure you guys get into my Telegram. Also hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, where I'm doing a deeper breakdown. And let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Imagine looking down at your kitchen floor and seeing a face staring back at you. That's what allegedly happened to a family in a small town in Spain in 1971. The Camara family claimed human faces started appearing on their concrete kitchen floor. After the first face wouldn't disappear after cleaning, the family tried to destroy it. They even re-poured the concrete, and the face reappeared in the same exact spot. Soon, new faces started showing up on different parts of the floor, some with expressions that seemed to shift over time. Once word got out, the house became a tourist attraction. Journalists, scientists, skeptics, and paranormal investigators all visited, and photos of the faces spread everywhere. Some paranormal researchers suggested it was a thoughtographic phenomenon, emotional or psychic energy that imprinted itself into their home. Skeptics argued it was a hoax, possibly created with pigments, acids, or other chemicals, and suggested the family had financial motives. But the strangest part is that even after decades of investigation, there's still no explanation everyone agrees on. The latest testing occurred in 2014 when a chemical engineer and a forensic criminalist ran multiple tests on the faces. Their conclusion was that the images weren't made with paint, they found no signs of manipulation, and they weren't able to reproduce the faces using any of the methods skeptics suggested. So, what do you think caused the Belmez faces?
Fallout just depicted something shocking. Let's see it.
Did you guys see what the show Fallout on Amazon Prime just showed the people who are watching it? We're talking about Season 2, Episode 4, which released January 7th, 2026. Keep in mind, I'm sure these shows take many months to produce.
Yeah.
This girl pulls out an ID card. This guy pulls out a girl's ID card. United States annexed territory of Canada.
That is crazy.
Okay, I'm telling you, this is going to happen. It says 2045. I think a lot sooner. Now, the question is, are they just using something that's happening today and including it in the show as a cool thing? Or are they predictive programming people? I don't think it's going to be 2045, dude. I think it's going to be soon. Look how quick Greenland's already going to be scooped up in 2 seconds here. Canada's next. And I'm not saying this is good or bad, but I think there's a bigger reason they want Canada to be part of the United States, and not just for security purposes, put it that way. And I know a lot of people are stoked who are in Canada. It's not even quite 50-50. Like, some people are stoked. They think if America takes over Canada, maybe we won't be controlled so bad by this current government, which many people are not pleased with. Other people say, we'll never be part of the United States. Mark Carney's doing an amazing job. But anyways, I wonder exactly what's going to happen here. But I was shocked to see it on Amazon freaking Prime. Someone sent me that clip. And this episode is called The Demon in the Snow. Whoa, is that calling Canada a demon? Dang, man.
So my question is this, though. Next on the chopping block would be, it was going to be Venezuela and Colombia, because those are the top 2 tip countries of South America. Of course, the rest would be Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala rather, Cuba, Dominican, Puerto Rico. That's already part of the U.S. That was talked about many, 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 many years ago to merge all those countries into one. So let me know your thoughts. Is this a great idea or is something else going on here? Comment your thoughts below and follow for more.
Yeah, we talked about this many times before. Like, Trump really plans on taking over Canada. I mean, hopefully we don't really go to war with Canada because they're literally our neighbors. That would be very bad for us. But whatever his deal is, hopefully it's peaceful. That's what I'm saying.
This is why nobody talks about the Bermuda Triangle anymore. Yeah, did you hear that they found an underwater UFO base in the Bermuda Triangle? For decades, we've all been wondering what really happens down there. People have blamed things like rogue waves, compass errors, methane bubbles, all of which have caused the disappearance of dozens of ships and planes over the years. But the truth might be way more concerning, because according to an alleged whistleblower leak, the Bermuda Triangle isn't just a ship and plane graveyard. It might just be home to this cloaked UFO facility that may have gotten here through a dimensional portal. Apparently, this isn't even just a base, it's an automated non-human intelligence factory that 3D prints UFOs custom built for different mission types. And it's believed to have been there for thousands of years, powered by massive crystal pyramids on the ocean floor. Now, this all sounds pretty out there, but maybe this could explain things like the electronic fog phenomena that pilots like Bruce Gernon have talked about over the years, along with time anomalies, compasses going haywire, and flights arriving way too early or way too late from their schedule, like time got bent somehow, even though the trip felt normal to the pilot. So if you've ever wondered why Flight 19 vanished or why navigational instruments have been reported to just shut off on ships and planes, well, the leak claims that this facility has this automated defense perimeter, meaning that if you get too close, you either get vaporized or pulled through some kind of dimensional wormhole. Oh goody! And if this story is even half true, well, the military probably knows exactly where it is, and they're trying to either communicate with it or keep it contained and covered up. But what do you think? Make sure to leave a comment and let me know what you want to hear about next on my comment section Conspiracies Iceberg.
Door slams next to me at Swanee's hospital. Let's see it.
We're going children's ward.
It is over.
Oh my god.
Nathan!
No, that was a door right there. Sorry.
That wasn't. Go back. It's the wind. It's alright, it's the guy.
That was the door down the corridor just slammed.
That was that one?
No. Down there.
Yeah.
In the actual.
Thank you. I thought you said it was in there.
No, there's another one.
As you opened that door, that one down there just slammed.
No, I'm in here by myself. It's not normal. This crazy, like, doors will open.
There exists a world that you can only reach between 2:37 a.m. and 2:44 a.m. Before you travel, I must advise you of a few rules. 1. Do not answer when the clockwork sun asks for your name. If it finds out who you are, the ticking will stop, and so will you. 2. If a man in tailcoats offers you tea and asks for a moment of your time, don't reply. Time is the only thing he can't steal, unless it's given willingly. 3. If the path ahead looks recently swept, go back the way you came. Nobody cleans here, unless they're expecting guests. 4. And most important of all, stay silent if you hear the flowers counting. They're counting down to the end, but if you distract them, it might come sooner than you expect. Safe travels.
So the 2016 clown trend is coming back, but this time it's even worse. Apparently, because everyone has been wanting 2016 back lately, clowns on TikTok are planning on making a comeback this October to mark the 10-year anniversary. And if you remember, back in 2016, this wasn't just some harmless trend. Clowns were so widespread that real criminals started hiding behind clown masks. People were being chased and some were actually attacked, because survivors are posting on TikTok showing real scars saying they're lucky to be alive. It got so bad that authorities had to step in, and in some places they banned clown costumes altogether during Halloween. Now people are blaming kids for wanting 2016 back since they're about to get it, and this is what it actually looked like.
It's funny to think that people are trying to turn 2026 into 2016, or at least make it similar. It's funny. Proof of Bible stories that still exist today. Let's see it.
Proof of Bible stories that still exist today.
Split Rock of Horeb. In real life. Mount Sinai. In real life. Noah's Ark. In real life. Pool of Bethesda. In real life. Red Sea. In real life. Lot's wife. In real life.
I feel like that statue might be too tall for the wife.
No. No, man. Stop. No. It's not true. That is not true. Shh. Shut up. It's not a game. I don't think that's true. You see, it's shaped like that because the plate falls in place. And remember, the plate has to turn while the food is on it. Now, I don't know why it looks like that, but it's not that. Although it looks like that, it's not that. This is what people are saying, right? So please, don't come up on here saying things like that that could possibly not be true. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purpose only. I don't know where the hell that guy got that video from or put that together because he's just making things up. Shut up! I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Because I stopped using a microwave 10 years ago, plus, probably longer. I just use a toaster oven. Or I use a regular oven. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on here, guys. You know what time it is. Shut up! Now, whatever this sign means has nothing to do with a microwave. The microwave is used for you to heat your food up faster because you're in a rush. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on here, guys. You know what time it is. Shut up! But I tell you one thing. If I ever go to somebody's house and they say you want to eat and my food comes out the microwave, okay.
I mean, I've heard that microwaves use different forms of radiation compared to like the nuclear bombs and stuff.
I was shocked when I found this out. There is something about Noah's Ark that a lot of people don't even realize. Stay with me. The most terrifying yet most interesting detail about Noah's Ark wasn't even about the flood. It was about the design of the boat. If you look at the blueprints that God gave Noah in Genesis chapter 6, you'll realize he was very specific. He gave him the exact length, width, and height. He even told him what wood to use, which was gopher wood, and he even told him the pitch to use to seal it. But God left out one crucial component. A steering wheel. There was no steering wheel, guys. No sail, and worse, no engine. Now hold up, think about how terrifying that really is. Noah was commanded to build this massive vessel in the middle of a global flood, and he had no steering wheel? The ark was not designed for navigation, only for floating. Noah's job was to be the passenger, not the captain. God is the captain. And yet, this is a picture of our lives today, isn't it? We are always trying to put steering wheels in situations where God is asking us to simply float.
Someone has proved that Chick-fil-A was never spelled C-H-I-C. This seems like a legit piece of merchandise from 2002 of a Chick-fil-A cow. And it's spelled C-H-I-C-K. This might actually be the proof we need. To all of the Mandela effect naysayers, I think timelines do shift and sometimes we're being gaslighted into believing that they don't. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird.
I feel like I've always remembered the K on Chick-fil-A. I don't know. Do y'all think it was spelled without a K or with a K? I think it was spelled with a K for the whole time.
You know, in Batman: The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's smartest when he did this. Yeah. That whole scene where Joker crashes the party, he asks for Harvey, and then he looks for Rachel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I only have one question. Where is Harvey Dent?
Christopher Nolan did the same thing twice. Bruce Wayne crashed the party beforehand, looks for Harvey, looked for Rachel. What he wanted to show was in the same way a villain would do something. Somebody with the riches, and even though they're kind of a hero, they still did the same thing. Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm late. I'm glad to see that you all got started without me. Now, where
is Harvey. And then the villain, Harvey, ended up Two-Face because one side of his coin was burnt, other side was clean.
Listen, Dan, I swear to God, I didn't know what they were gonna do to you.
That's funny. Because I don't know what's gonna happen to you either.
That's wild.
History is a lie. We are living on the remains of a much larger, giant past. All over the globe, there are enormous tree stumps. Ask yourself, why do all these stumps have clean cuts? Some have gone as far as to say that these are petrified remains. But let us go with the theory that they are enormous tree stumps. Imagine the sheer size of the tools required to fell these trees. I mean, it had to either have been an extremely advanced species that lived on Earth way back when, or the giants, the ones mentioned in the Bible. Let's explore these two ideas. The idea that an extremely advanced species existed before us is plausible. Have you heard of Tartaria, or even the Anunnaki? Tartaria was, and possibly still is, a highly advanced civilization that was global, with technology and knowledge far beyond what we can imagine. They have even been credited with building the Great Wall of China and many other architectural marvels. They would have had the means to sever trees that reached up into the heavens. The second idea is that it was giants. The Ethiopian Bible, which is the oldest Bible to date, has books and passages removed by modern-day Christians. One of these books is the Book of Enoch, and it mentions giants in detail. In Enoch 7, verses 1 and 2, it talks about the Watchers, better known as the fallen angel, who were banished from the heavens and took human women as wives. This produced a race called the Nephilim, a race of giants. They taught their wives forbidden knowledge, charms, and enchantments that were not meant for humans, further corrupting humanity. The passage reads, "They taught them charms and enchantments and the cutting of roots and made them acquainted with plants." Could this reference to roots be the gigantic stumps we see today?
Always be careful of the dreaded drain snake.
Ho, ho, ho.
Without fail, this happens to somebody once a year and they'll record it, upload it, and it'll go viral. Here's this year's version. This video that I got tagged in shows a person recording their toilet at 2 a.m. in the morning, and the clip, I've got to be honest, is quite shock-inducing. It shows this snake-like object making its way out of the side of the toilet. What we're looking at is a plumber's snake or a drain snake. No, not this kind of snake. There we go. These are used to remove blockages that are in your pipes, and while most of the time they work as intended and get rid of whatever is preventing your toilet from flushing or water from draining, sometimes mistakes can be made and they will bust right through the side of the porcelain of your toilet, causing you to need repairs. This isn't confirmed, but I would guess that this was recorded in an apartment complex and your downstairs neighbor was trying to clean out their toilet and they accidentally ruined yours. Either that or somebody is in your downstairs toilet in your house. Either way, this appears to happen occasionally, and like I said, a video will go viral once or twice a year depicting this incident.
What a day looked like 10,000 years ago. Wow. Let's see it.
This is what a typical day looked like 10,000 years ago. So you'd wake up at 6 a.m. synced with the sunrise after a broken up sleep the night before, likely in a rock shelter. There's no breakfast, but your first task is assessing wild animal dangers and then sharpening your tools to prepare to go out. At 8 a.m., if you're a man, you'd head out with your tribe and track animals like deer to try to kill them for food, while women would gather grains, nuts, and berries. By 3 p.m., you'd ideally caught a small or medium-sized animal and dragged it back to cook over a fire if you're lucky. The food has no preservation, so you'd have to eat it immediately with no seasoning, sides, or other options. Around 6 p.m., as sunset approached, you'd storytell, wrestle with your siblings, and then watch the flames of the fire burn, which was said to have mimicked TV. After about 2 hours at 8 p.m., it would be bedtime, and you'd stabilize a fire for nearby light, and around 10 p.m., 2 hours after that, men would wake up to switch off with night watchers to ensure that they're guarding the family. And safety in particular was of utmost importance because any small injury could result in death. And this exact day would basically repeat for 35 years until the average person died, though this life expectancy is largely due to the 50% child mortality rate. That's crazy.
I like how you said that watching fire was similar to watching TV. I mean, they probably told stories and stuff, but dude, I could not survive 10,000 years ago. Never do this inside of your house. By this, I'm guessing there's a baby shower and he's using the dirt bike to blow up the balloon. Oh, well, that's going to be carbon monoxide poisoning. Yeah, all right, let's see it, chat. Let's see the video.
I will admit, this is a very unique gender reveal. There's only one problem here. You're doing this inside. This is a bad idea.
Yeah.
This video shows a group of people standing around a dirt bike. On the exhaust for the dirt bike, we can see a balloon being inflated. By the end of the video, the balloon is huge. It pops, sending blue confetti everywhere. Congrats, it's a boy, but also exhaust. Now, I've made a lot of videos talking about the dangers of carbon monoxide, so most of the people watching this probably know what that exhaust contains, but for those that don't, carbon monoxide is the primary pollutant produced from combustion engines. On top of it being a pollutant, it can also kill you. Gas is odorless, colorless, and if you inhale too much of it, you can experience a variety of symptoms from mild, being nausea, vomiting, and fatigue, which isn't that mild, to the extreme, death, convulsions, cardiorespiratory failure. Putting yourself in an enclosed space without ventilation with this gas is a recipe for that to happen. Hopefully off to the side, these people had their doors open and their windows open for ventilation. I'm not too sure. Either way, don't try to replicate this at home. Bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, the place looks pretty ventilated, but it still doesn't take from the fact that some people are going to be inhaling that. And we all know that carbon monoxide is very cancer causing. So, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully they took proper precautions. Something seems off. Maybe I'm wrong. Entertainment purposes only. Let's see it.
I feel happy. I feel healthy. I'm a human being. Say no more. Shh. Shh. Sir! First thing first, this video is for entertainment purposes only. We're just gonna break this down real quick, guys. Shh. Don't you even say it. Darkness into light, right? Shows us that he's looking at the sun, aka Daywalker. Shh. Shut up! He's giving me V vibes. Big time. Not only that, guys, his whole page, he's saying the same thing over and over. Happy, healthy, human. 3 H's. You ready? Happy, emotional well-being, healthy, physical well-being, human being, recognition of self-existence or consciousness. Shh. Shut up! As a human being, I ain't never had to tell somebody I was a human being. Human beings know that we're human beings, right? Does a parrot ever tell us it's a parrot?
No.
Or does it just repeat what humans say?
Yep.
Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. I got you. Know what it is. Shh. Shut up. Go follow him. He's on this app. A happy, healthy human. His videos say all the same thing, but he's just expressing himself. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. Guys, and they out here. Shh. Shut up. But I tell you one thing. If I ever see somebody that gives me V vibes while I'm outside,
yeah, that's definitely strange. I don't think a human being is going to be like, hi guys, I'm a human being. I mean, unless they're trolling, but very, very sketchy.
The total canceled flights in the US has reached 15,000 today, which makes it the most canceled day for flights since COVID. And shockingly, if we go over here to New York, you can see there are 0 planes in the air, absolutely none. And it's even crazier when we go to their departure board here, you can see every single flight that was scheduled to depart, except a couple, which I assume will get canceled, are canceled.
Yeah, man, Saturday, Sunday, and a little bit of Monday, there was a pretty bad snowstorm in NYC. I mean, in New York in general, and pretty much all the northern part of the US. There was a really bad snowstorm. Here in New York, we got like between, I think, 12 to 24 inches. Dude, my whole mailbox was covered. In my head, it's probably a little bit more than 24 inches that we got. But yeah, it's a bad storm. A lot of things were delayed. A lot of things were canceled. There was a travel restriction in my area. A man was recording his girlfriend watching a horror movie, and then this happened. Let's see it.
The Holy Spirit, by this sign of the Holy Cross of our Lord Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns with the Father and the Holy Spirit. David!
No.
You killed your mother! You killed your mother! You killed...
Oh!
My front camera is smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house.
Running down the stairs.
She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
Oh my goodness. What the hell was that? Woman is followed by creepy man and discovers something terrifying. Okay, let's see it.
This woman and her child were being followed to their apartment by a strange guy.
Yeah.
And little did she know that this event would domino effect into so many more crazy events. So this is the man that followed her. And if you watch closely, the apartment across from her, the door opens and closes. The guy eventually leaves, and when she's watching her Ring camera footage, she was like, I've lived here 3 years and nobody has ever lived in this apartment.
Yeah.
Nobody's come in and out of the apartment. It's abandoned. And she goes to show us that it is like all locked up and there's absolutely nothing inside this apartment. So she calls the management of her apartment complex and they go and open the door to check it out. And the maintenance guy lets her follow. So nobody lives here. But in this apartment complex, there is a pile of young children's shoes and some snake skin, which really creeped this woman out, obviously.
That's creepy. That's
and then
creepy.
she informs us that there are children in this apartment complex that have went missing.
Wow.
And she was looking back on her footage and she realizes her daughter's snowshoes are in this pile of shoes. She thought her daughter had lost them at daycare. And then somebody steals her Ring cam. So she sets up a trap. She buys some shoes, she puts a camera and a plant, and for days nobody gets the shoes. But after 2 days, she catches this on camera. Her neighbor comes out and goes up to the abandoned apartment, backs up all crazy, but watch the shoes on the ground. And you're probably thinking, oh, she's the one that's taking the shoes. No, watch the shoes. Yeah, that just happened. So the woman talks to her neighbor, and her neighbor said she heard a baby crying, okay? And the crying is coming from apartment 23. And then she sees that, and she's like, okay, and backs back into her apartment. So my question here, you guys, is this something supernatural? What do y'all think about this? And what would you do if this happened to you? And if you know the original creator, please tag her for me because I can't find her.
This is terrifying. 2 paramedics have the scariest shift of their lives and refuse to go back to their ambulance.
First off, I've been an EMT just for a little bit, and like I ain't never experienced nothing like this.
Okay.
So as we driving back to base, I swear I seen a face in the rearview mirror. Like, fuck, I need to turn this engine off though, cause like we're gonna be stranded out here. I'm not trying to go back near this truck. I don't know if you see it, but can y'all see that back door? Like, it just, like it just flew open. Like, can y'all? Nah, what the?
Bro, your camera angles are garbage, gang. I can't see anything, bro.
Can y'all see it?
Nah,
hell no. Heck, nah.
I mean, I kind of saw something in the back a little bit. That was kind of strange. A daughter recorded her mother's final moments, but something unexpected happens.
See.
Angels.
And where are they at?
On the ceiling. Okay.
I don't see anything, Mom.
It's kind of crazy.
I don't see anything. You see him? I don't see anything.
Are they making you happy? Yes. Yeah? Well, that's good. How many? 4? 4?
Yeah, man, they said when people are on their deathbeds, like they're about to die, they tend to hallucinate. Like they'll see past relatives that they might have grown up with that's died before them. They'll see animals. They'll see stuff like angels, even sometimes demons. But that usually means that, you know what I'm saying, they're coming down to like their final hours of life.
It's going to blow your mind. Watch.
Do you think it's a coincidence that the number 13 is being seen as an unlucky number? It's not. It's not a coincidence. The number 13 has been erased from everywhere, and that is a big reason of why our system is not changing and why we're not stepping into harmony. I think we all know that 13 counts as a bad luck number. For example, Friday the 13th. In some buildings there is no 13th floor, in some planes there is no row 13. Even hospitals sometimes avoid the room 13. We have 12 months, 12 hours, 12 zodiac signs, 12 disciples. That is very weird, because the moon rotates the earth 13 times a year, not 12 times. Women have 13 menstrual cycles a year, not 12. We have 12 zodiac signs, while there is a 13th constellation in the sky, Ophiuchus, that was just cut up from the circle. We always talk about 12 apostles, but Mary Magdalene was the 13th, she was the feminine. That was completely erased.
Yeah.
So why is that so important? Because the number 13 is the harmony of the universe. The fruit of life consists of 13 circles, which is the predecessor of Metatron's cube, male and female energies combined. So since the Metatron's cube plays a very important role of the creation of the universe, you could basically see the fruit of life as the womb of the universe. Number 13 is also part of the Fibonacci sequence, which is a sequence of numbers that you can find throughout nature and the universe. To erase 13 is to erase the path into natural time, into the rhythms of the moon, into the rhythms of the body, the earth, the seasons. It is to erase the principle of renewal. And by demonizing it, what we have been doing, by conditioning us to fear this number, we are taught to reject the very key that brings us into balance. If you want to know more about natural cycles and natural time, follow me or become part of my natural time community, which you can find through the link in my bio. Thank you so much for listening to this important information and bringing 13 to your consciousness. Bye.
Human leg in meat aisle. They are feeding us human meat and the proof is right in front of us. Let's see it.
То самое чувство, когда идешь мимо магазина мяса и видишь вот такую ногу.
Wow, that does look like a human leg.
This is a human, yes, bro? Human. Pakistan, Pakistanistan. Понятно. Ага, пакистанцы, нормально.
You mean to tell me that in 1969, this flimsy, tinfoil origami-looking contraption survived violent rocket vibrations, brutal temperature swings, the vacuum of outer space through translunar ejection, actually landed on the moon, protected the astronauts, launched again, and then successfully rendezvoused with the command module? And 53 years later, with all the advances in aviation and computational power, we can't go again? Yeah, totally makes sense.
I don't know. The moon landing things just become sketchier and sketchier by the day because, like, you know what I'm saying? We lose signal, at least some of us in the US, we lose signal when we go into like tunnels and stuff on trains. But then they had the perfect HD, you know what I'm saying, quality and communication when they went to the moon. Yeah, okay. Ask yourself why this was never taught. Earth, our known world. Okay.
Y'all not ready to talk about this. Y'all are not ready to talk about this. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. We have been finding out everything we have been told has been a literal lie. Before you even come in here and dismiss this and comment, just think about that. Think about that. Everything you have been told is a lie. Why would this be so far-fetched? Why would this be so far-fetched? Why wouldn't these people want to hold secrets against you? What did you do? What kind of secret society are you in? Why are you co-conspiring with our government and agreeing to what they're basically brainwashing you to believe? Look at this.
Hold on, y'all. So we would be in here, right? And these would be the other domes outside of this. Now, check this out. You see, you don't have to believe us anymore because even nature agrees with us, y'all. We just know. We just have a sixth sense, whatever you want to call it. But look at the reflections, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. These are the other worlds. Y'all see that? These are the other worlds. Look at that. These are the other worlds. Y'all see what the sun has been doing? Here go another picture. Look at the other domes, right? That's why they say don't look up. Listen, y'all. This is literally the convergence of the spheres. This is the convergence of the spheres. The Phoenix event is about to take place. These things look like giant Dragon Balls, y'all. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
This right here is when Moana 2 says, get ready to meet your extended family. We about to meet our family, y'all. Because with all this energy that's winding up right now, you cannot tell me that y'all don't feel something big is coming and then the sky is reflecting this. But I've been telling y'all, man, the shift is here. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
NASA caught lying. Let's see it.
As I will prove it here again, 2 different NASA missions claimed ownership of the same footage, making them liars.
Wow.
And the propagandists can't claim it's a simple mistake because both mission astronauts commented on the video as though they witnessed the event, and the second video was even altered slightly. Let's first watch the STS-32 mission, which launched on January 9th, 1990. I pulled the video from this channel, and the timestamp is there too in case you want to look it up yourself. I will fast forward to the footage at issue.
The most difficult part about a shuttle mission is getting a whole crew to...
I want to see rockets that big. You see some of the ice floating around as the external tank comes off after the fuel is expended. This is on orbit after 8.5 minutes. Again, from that same camera in the belly of the vehicle. Kind of a unique view of the external tank going down. This is the one part of the whole system that is not recovered. It breaks up in the atmosphere and lands in the Pacific Ocean in our case.
Now, let's watch the footage from STS-78, which was launched on June 20th, 1996. And this is where I pulled the video from. I'll fast forward again to the footage in question.
Here we are suiting up at the Kennedy Space Center for our launch on June 20th.
Well, it was just absolutely fantastic to see the be in space and see this great piece of American technology come off the external tank. It was really difficult for Rick and I to focus on getting pictures of this because here we saw the Earth and land masses and the oceans floating beneath us. But the external tank just did a super job.
Now let's watch the 2 separate videos synced. Remember, these videos were supposedly filmed over 6 years apart. If you're really paying attention, you might notice that the 2 videos are almost identical, but not 100%. Yes, they most certainly use the same footage, but the one on the right includes a few more particles, and I don't think it's just the increased brightness. Which means they manipulated the footage further, which only proves that this was willful deception.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, those 2 footages look pretty much the exact same. Obviously, one was darker than the next, but you know what I'm saying? For NASA being like a multi-billion-dollar company, at least do better with that. If you're gonna lie, at least do better. Like, that was like pathetic in a way. If NASA truly went to the moon, what fuel did the rover use? That's a good question.
If NASA truly went to the moon, what fuel did the rover use? In a place where fuel can't even burn, engines need oxygen to ignite. NASA admits the moon has none. So how did the rover power its wheels? They claim it ran on electric batteries. But you know, batteries die quickly in extreme temperatures. Lunar day reaches over 200 degrees, and night drops to minus 200. Did NASA secretly build super batteries in the 70s that today's tech still can't match? And if they did, where are they now? Why isn't every electric car using lunar rover technology? Picture driving a go-kart across a frozen desert with no air, no wind, and temperature swings that can fry an egg and freeze a lake. Now imagine NASA says they pulled it off perfectly. 50 years ago, on their first try. Even modern vehicles struggle in harsh weather, yet the lunar rover supposedly cruised across lunar dust like a weekend joyride. No overheating, no tire pressure issues, no battery failures. That kind of tech should have changed the world, but instead it's tucked away in old archives. Maybe we weren't meant to test it. Just believe it. If even one part of this made you rethink something, then keep going. Scroll the page. Watch the next video. Curiosity is the real fuel. And the more questions we ask, the clearer everything becomes.
Do you know who this is?
No
Comment
idea.
below if you think you know, but don't cheat, because they tried to bury this. But good thing I got the shovel. Let's dig. Most people are waiting for the Antichrist, for the first horseman of the apocalypse. But what if he already came? What if he was dressed in white, crowned with a holy title, and claimed divine authority to conquer the world? This is not prophecy. This is history. Because the white horseman already came. See, when you find out who this man is, you'll understand that the world already ended. He claimed to be the representative of Christ on earth. With the right to claim the entire globe, he claimed salvation, but brought conquest. Now, you may know the white horseman is known to be the Antichrist, but why? That's because in Revelation, Christ appears at the end, wearing many crowns, wielding a sword to bring true peace. Whereas the first horseman appears at the beginning wearing a single crown, carrying a bow with no arrow. He rides out conquering and to conquer. So he is an imposter who comes in the same image as Christ in the Bible. He's the reason why Africa was enslaved, the Americas was enslaved, the Americas was colonized, and Africa was colonized. Well, what gave him the right? According to them, this right here. In 1455, a decree was written that claimed to give European elites the divine right to invade, conquer, and enslave the world. It was a papal bull issued as law, blessed by popes, and carried out by kings. It was called Romanus Pontifex. This and subsequent decrees created the doctrine of discovery, the legal foundation for all conquered lands to this day. Before we go further, you have to understand what a spirit is. A spirit is a collection of attributes that make something what it is. It's about to get deep. Do you know what animal this is? Comment what animal you think this is below. Don't cheat. Many of you said it was a dog, but it's not. It's actually a thylacine, a marsupial, completely unrelated to a canine, more closely related to a kangaroo. But why did you say it was a dog? Well, it has the same collection of attributes as a dog, the same essence, the same spirit. This is due to convergent evolution. Two organisms that share the same niche will develop the same attributes over a set amount of times possible. The niche is this matrix meter structure in which it develops, and the spirit is the essence which is embedded in the matrix. That's going to be important. Pope Nicholas was this man. He is a spirit, a collection of attributes incarnated into a man. Because of him, we have the first time in history where 8% of the population rules 80% of the world. If a mysterious people led by mysterious elites came from an unknown location on the map and conquered 80% of the world today, claiming to represent Christ in the flesh, what would you call them? Still don't believe me? What was the name of the first slave ship? If you want more, read the free audiobook. It's a link at the top of the page. It's called FAMS. I love you all.
Over 11,000 flights have been canceled across the United States today. Just take a look at the difference in air traffic here in the Southeast currently compared to a week ago. To give you more concrete numbers instead of just visuals, there's roughly 2,000 less flights currently in the air in the United States than there were a week ago at the same time. Delta made a post here talking about their reduced schedule, and American even added extra flights to and from DFW before and after the storm to account for some of these delays. This is all due to the winter storm that's been sweeping across the United States, which has resulted in tons of icing. Here's what Atlanta looks like at the moment, and here's my backyard.
Yeah, chat, like I've been saying, dude, America, we had a crazy snowstorm on Sunday. Sunday was really when, like, you know what I'm saying, people got majority of the snow, but Monday kind of chilled out. Tuesday was like relaxed, but Sunday was, you know what I'm saying, like 24 inches. It's crazy. Someone filming an old abandoned building. What's the big deal? Let's see what happened.
You can slap but can also stroke.
Oh, whatever's coming, you gotta go, bro. That's coming pretty fast too. Wow. Oh my gosh. Previously banned from YouTube by the US government, the uncovered footage of what happened. What happened? Let's see. On the 17th of July, 2011. All right, we got a kid bouncing on a trampoline. Okay. Wow. How scary. Okay. Word. Oh, what the f... We found this video on a YouTube channel by the name of the RJO Productions, now a fully shut down account. We used the YouTube downloader to get this file as it interested us at the time and we wanted to show our friends this creepy video. With research, we know this thing to be the Slenderman. And we believe people need to know what was going on. The channel was deleted by the government in August 2011. Is that a fact? We were one of the lucky ones who got this downloaded. Also, when this video was found, it was strangely had no sound. In my opinion, chat, you know what I'm saying? I don't think things in a video game are gonna realistically come in real life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I really fully believe in this. And if the government is shutting down a video because they have like a Slenderman in the background, we're focusing on the wrong things, in my opinion, because I know for a fact that Slenderman wasn't a real Slenderman. Children's eyes don't lie. They say that children can see things that we can't see. Also, dogs can also see things that we can't see, so let's see it.
Outside to play.
I miss Mimi.
I miss you too. I miss you too. What?
Coming.
What? Who's coming?
Here coming.
Who?
Him.
You see somebody back there?
Him.
Who?
Here.
Him?
Yeah.
Where's he at? Is he in our house?
Yeah.
Where? Show me. Where's he at?
Oh, wow.
He's right in front of you?
Yep.
Who is it?
A guy.
Who's there, mister? What are you doing in our... Where's he at? In the dining room?
Yep.
Show me him. Go show me him. Give me your hand. Take me to him.
This him.
Take me to him. Show me.
This him.
Wait, let me... Show me. Is he right here?
Yep.
He's in our dining room?
Yeah.
What are you doing in our dining room, mister? What does he look like?
I bug.
He's got bug eyes?
Yeah.
What are you doing in our living room, mister? Get. You go back home. You go back wherever you came from.
That's kind of trippy.
What's he doing?
Spooky.
Come on, you're creeping me out. We're going upstairs.
Yeah, low key.
Come on. You're scaring me. We're going upstairs. Yeah, you're scaring me. We're going upstairs.
Hi, my baby. I love my kitty.
If the United States invades Greenland, two things can happen. Either other countries stay out or other countries get involved. If other countries stay out, that's fine. But if other countries get involved, two things can happen. Either it stays a regional conflict or it turns into World War III. If it stays a regional conflict, that's fine. But if it turns into World War III, two things can happen. Either the draft skips you or your name gets called.
Damn.
If the draft skips you, that's fine. But if your name gets called, two things can happen. Either you run from it or you serve your country. If you run from it, that's fine. But if you serve your country, two things can happen. Either you train and wait, or you get deployed fast. If you train and wait, that's fine. But if you get deployed fast, two things can happen. Either you stay behind the lines or you see the front. If you stay behind the lines, that's fine. But if you see the front, two things can happen. Either you survive or you become a name on a wall. If you survive, that's fine. But if you become a name on a wall, two things can happen. Either other countries stay out or other countries get involved.
You know, if Trump does end up going for Greenland, hopefully we don't enter a World War III. Hopefully they keep it over there. Because respectfully, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us that's probably watching this video might get drafted if that becomes a reality. And that would be a very, very sad moment. Because like he said, one of two things can happen. You could go front line or back line. And you know what I'm saying? You know what happens after that if you go front line. So
So you mean to tell me that humans saw tuna and looked at it as food?
Wow.
These things are extremely large apex predators that average around 700 pounds.
Wow.
And the large ones could get way bigger. I'm talking like 2,000 pounds. That is literally a car. Not to mention, they travel in groups that have been reported in the thousands. In fact, there's one current school of tuna that spans for 19 miles.
That is insane.
That's a lot of apex predators. But what really makes them special is, unlike most fish, they're warm-blooded, so they need to eat more than the average fish. In fact, tuna hunt more than any other fish in the entire ocean. I'm surprised they're not eating us.
They kind of look like sharks, if I'm being honest. I didn't even think tunas were that big. I don't know why I thought tuna was always like a smaller fish, but to get up to 2,000 pounds, that's damn near like a car. It's insane. A daughter was celebrating her first birthday without her father. Damn. When something mysterious was captured. Let's see it.
Happy birthday, dear Bricky. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish. Make a wish. Make a wish.
And many more.
Right.
Woo! Almost.
Whoa. All right, Jackie. I don't want to know the details. All right, here, honey. A girl's got to have a present. This is from me. Yeah.
Did you know? How cute. Should we cut the cake?
Yeah. Jackie, press its pause.
Hey kiddo, hope you're doing well. I'm feeling much better now, so whenever you can.
Please tell me something.
Hey kiddo, hope you're doing well. I'm feeling much better now, so whenever you can, just come visit me, okay? Okay?
Shut up. No way.
Wow.
That is not worse.
Her dad was a retired firefighter and he loved. Interesting. We are all speechless.
The only animals in the zoo that don't seem bummed out at all are giraffes, because they're just like another day with no lions. They just stroll around. They're so happy.
I love the
They're
accent,
so
Joe,
calm
right
at the zoo that they let babies feed them. Like when my daughter was 2, we brought her to the zoo. She holds out a piece of lettuce, and the giraffe come over. It's a giraffe. They didn't train it, and his tongue reaches out and grabs a hold of the lettuce. It's really kind of cool the way they do it. But that's the only animal that I would keep as a pet, because they don't seem to care. They seem to like it. Like, they're stress-free. They just chill.
I held a koala when in Australia this last time, and we went and held koalas, and they feed them eucalyptus the whole time.
That's all they eat.
And the reason why they keep feeding them eucalyptus is because the second you stop giving them eucalyptus, like truly within 3 seconds of them not having the next leaf, they turn more into a bear. You feel their claws tighten up, and
Wow.
it's a fucking bear. They're like cute and slow and dumb.
Hush. Go potty.
Who the hell is that in the chair?
Hush.
I wonder if that's like her dad or something. Oh!
Oh, there's somebody on the porch!
Oh! That's creepy, dude. That is weird. Oh. My main thought is like, didn't the dog like smell him or notice him at all? Because the dog kind of just came out all willy-nilly and was just like, yeah, we're good. I mean, I don't think it's anyone to really worry about. It's probably just some homeless dude or like some dude that just wanted to chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he meant them any harm, but it is still pretty creepy. I'm not gonna lie. When you don't drink water, your brain shrinks. Scary fact, your head hurts when you're dehydrated because your brain is shrinking and dragging against the inside of your skull. Oh my goodness. Let's check out the video, chat.
It is very common knowledge that if you're dehydrated, it can cause headaches, but I don't think a lot of people really know why that happens, the mechanism behind it. This is another scary fact video that I got tagged in, though I would argue this is a lot more interesting than scary. It says your head hurts when you're dehydrated because your brain is shrinking and dragging against the inside of your skull. Wow. Dehydration headaches are extremely uncomfortable, and I think that's worsened by the fact that this is actually true. When you don't drink water, the volume of your brain and surrounding areas shrinks. This pulls away from your skull, which then triggers pain receptors that tells your brain, hey, this does not feel great. On top of this, blood and oxygen flow are reduced, which can contribute to the headache and also cause lightheadedness. And additionally, electrolytes will typically be imbalanced at this point. The longer you wait to hydrate, the worse your headache is going to be. This is exactly why water is so critical for human survival, and you can't really survive more than a few days without it. For people with migraines as well, dehydration can cause actual migraines. So just make sure that you stay hydrated and try not to think about the fact that if you're not, your brain is shrinking.
Yeah, there's this concept called the 3-3-3 concept. It's where you can go 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, and 3 months without food. As long as you follow that, you should be alive.
Last night, a man drove his car through the front doors of Detroit Metro Airport's terminal building and ran into a ticket counter. This footage, which I've slowed down so you can see better, shows the moment the car broke through the doors. The man got out with his hands up. He was eventually arrested and was shouting some random phrase that it seems that no one on the internet can figure out exactly what he was saying. And as of now, it appears no one was injured, and also there's no motive as well. So this is just a weird incident.
Bro, that dude had to be drunk. Andrew Tate just dropped a bombshell on camera. I know who killed Charlie Kirk. Yo, Andrew Tate acting like they're not coming for him next. So if I was him, I'd be watching what I say. Let's see the video, chat.
Why do you think Charlie Kirk was assassinated? Do you think it was because of feminism?
Let's talk as professionals here. Sorry for the pause. I'm just scanning what's going to keep me alive. So, I know who killed him. And the only person who is overtly giving theories as to who killed him publicly is Candace. The reason Candace.
Why do you pronounce Candace Owens' name Candace? Come on, Andrew.
Is breathing is because she is a woman and because she is black. And the people in charge have thought, they've concluded, you know what? Let a black woman scream. Most people will, even if they listen to her, it's a black chick and we're just going to let her scream into the air and we'll just put it down to black female hysterical action. So we'll just put it down to that.
You think that's it?
Yeah. We'll get some bots on Twitter and we'll get everyone to call her crazy and we'll pretend she's hysterical and we'll push all of this narrative that she's nuts with some paid influencers. And we're going to get everyone to call her crazy, even if she's right on the fucking money, even if she gets it perfectly right. Even in one of her episodes, if she describes it perfect, we're just going to convince everyone she's nuts because she's a black chick and we can convince people that she's just hysterical, like the Walmart ran out of fucking cocoa butter and she's mad. So let's just do that. If you're a man in a sharp suit like yours, or if I put a suit on and I sit there and I break it down in a very logical, there still is that degree of misogyny in the world where a man is taken a little bit more seriously with some things. And then if you get it directly on the money with a different tone and they can't really call you crazy, if you don't give them the second life, if you don't give them an easy layup, well then you pay the price.
Something seems off. Maybe I'm wrong.
I feel happy. I feel healthy. I'm a human being.
Say no more. Shh. Shh. Sir! First thing first, this video is for entertainment purposes only. We're just gonna break this down real quick, guys. Shh. Don't you ever say it.
darkness into light, right? Shows us that he's looking at the sun, aka Daywalker. Shh, shut up! He's giving me V vibes. Big time. Not only that, guys, his whole page, he's saying the same thing over and over. Happy, healthy, human. 3 H's. You ready? Happy, emotional well-being, healthy, physical well-being, human being, recognition of self, existence, or consciousness. Shut up! As a human being, I ain't never had to tell somebody I was a human being. Human beings know that we're human beings, right? Does a parrot ever tell us it's a parrot? Or does it just repeat what humans say? Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. I ain't got you know what it is. Shh. Shut up. Go follow him. He's on this app. A happy, healthy human. His videos say all the same thing, but he's just expressing himself. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. I ain't guys and they out here. Shh. Shut up. But I tell you one thing. If I ever see somebody that gives me V vibes while I'm outside.
What does that even mean?
Have you heard the insane conspiracy theory that Erica worked for the CIA?
Erica Kirk?
If there was a guy who had massive influence and you had to put someone next to him all day, every day, on top of it all, I can't say that part.
We've seen in previous videos that I posted where they've said that she's been a spy. She worked at an orphanage that got shut down. She was in a movie where she assassinated someone. The connections are there, bro.
Did a test to see how they could activate the hardest punch you could do. They took an athlete, right? He was a fighter. First test they did, they let him punch normally. Next, they injected him with adrenaline and decided to see how much harder he could punch. His body tensed up, his muscles tightened. He punched it hit 600 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And then they did another test.
Yeah.
They didn't. Instead, they took a coach, telling him all of these things to motivate him and get him hyped up. And then he went to go hit the bag, hit it. Do you think it did harder than adrenaline or less?
Probably less.
With the coach's motivation, that fighter hit 1,000 pounds of force. That was the hardest punch they tested all day.
Motivation?
Was coach's motivation. Was stronger than deadass the chemical that your body makes for fight or flight.
Whoa.
So mentality, even over science.
Yeah, deadass.
I feel like it makes sense from like an evolutionary standpoint where people or even like our ancestors were just in tough situations and people were just like, yeah, like, yo, we gotta go, you know what I'm saying? Kind of just motivates your brain to just get moving. So in my opinion, it makes sense. Did you know Jamaica, rocket, and a moon emoji? What is going on in Jamaica?
Did you hear that the country of Jamaica just sent their first man to the moon? This is the rocket.
Bro, what? Does Jamaica know about this?
He's inside here. He's standing up because it's such a small rocket. And a lot of people are making fun of it, but it's just like the Jamaican bobsled team. They had a dream and they figured it out. That's him right there. His name is Wilfred Eyring. He'll get to the moon in a few days. The rocket touches down and his mission is only to be there for 10 minutes because they don't have the spacesuits with enough oxygen. So he has to hold his breath, plant a flag in the moon soil, Jamaican flag, and then they said grab a couple moon rocks and put them in your pockets. He can't grab a ton because they don't have enough room on the spaceship coming back home. I say congratulations, Jamaica, but I want to know what you think about it.
Dude, this has got to be the fakest, most patheticest video I've ever seen in my existence. Honestly, I'm gonna look it up right now, chat. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it says based on available information as of January 2026, there are no credible reports of Jamaica launching a mission to the moon.
Subscribe.
Yeah, it never happened, chat. Trump confirms super weapon used in Maduro's capture, calls it the discombobulator. It's like we're in an X-Men movie, man.
The U.S. has revealed a super weapon called the discombobulator that was used during the capture of Venezuela's Maduro. From the official White House website, our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space, to leave distance annihilated, cause things to grow, and improve productivity. The New York Times reported that during the attack on Venezuela, some of the Venezuelan bodyguards were unable to move and fell down vomiting. Tell me your thoughts on this and follow me to spread the word and to help regrow my account.
Dude, there's probably so many weapons that we don't even know about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there definitely is. There's not even probably. There definitely is. But I'm just trying to say, like, how much more crazy can it really get, though? You know what I'm saying? We just developed quantum computing. America's last 24 hours in 3 minutes. What happened in the last 24 hours?
Say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Sometimes it's worth 1,000,000 files.
This is
Here in
crazy.
America in the last 24 hours. Yep, that was TJ Smooth. He said pedo protector. And obviously Trump heard it. He said, nah, you, and they threw a middle finger. TJ was immediately let go. I mean, I think we should start him a GoFundMe ASAP. Numbers have reached 12,000 maybe in Iran of civilians killed, standing up to the Islamic regime. And so they was asked about Iran because Iran was like, hey, if the U.S. come in here, we're going to retaliate. Trump said, okay, we ain't doing this, we true to this, bitch. What you say?
Yeah, Iran said that the last time I blew him up with the nuclear capability, which they don't have any longer, so...
Wow. What did he just say?
Iran said that the last time I blew him up with the...
Yo, he doesn't care. Oh my god. This is funny, bro. It's like we're in a reality TV. This is like prime Truman Show. If you guys know what that is. I mean, you guys definitely know what that is. This is prime Truman Show right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Nuclear capability, which they don't have any longer, so... Iran said that the last time. They better behave.
Better behave is some nefarious use of language. I'll tell you one thing, though, Iran. If we withdrawing personnel from the Middle East, that means that we sending bombs. So I'll take this shit with a grain of salt, but I'm just saying, within a week, most likely, we will be bombing y'all. Then an Iranian spokesperson gets on Fox News. He's like, slow your roll. See, yes, there was some protest. People were dying. But all of a sudden, shit went left and got real sinners out here because Mossad sent they people. And now, all of a sudden, protests turned into guns being shot at police officers, burnings of buildings, bombs being sent, and we didn't know how to retaliate. So we had to fight against the terrorists. This is an Israeli plot to drag Trump over into Iran, which he's been trying to do since '93, which is facts. But it's tough because, I mean, if you're an Iranian person, you have somebody in your family over there, they're dying. They can't gain contact with their family. So obviously, we need intervention yesterday, which civilians are dying. I would hope that we intervene. But at the same time, he's saying the reason the numbers are spiking so high is because Mossad's over there causing havoc.
We wanted to increase the number of deaths. Why? Because President Trump has said that if there are killings, he would intervene. And they wanted to drag him into this conflict. And that was exactly an Israeli plot.
We know that on their TV stations, they're saying,
wow,
when that shit fall, we striking everywhere. All that, burn that shit to the ground. And they don't be hiding their intentions. CBS stupid and new lows. Barry White, you a by the way.
Wow.
But now they're saying,
language,
oh my
buddy.
God, Jonathan Ross, he suffered from internal bleeding. You guys are lying about the video. He had to go to the hospital. It's like, we know the story that he drove to the hospital. Then he was released within 1 hour. If you have internal bleeding, you're not released that fast. And obviously, cuckboy J.D. Vance, who knew? This is the same CBS. 50 minutes. You know, they were supposed to release an Epstein series. Cut that. Oh, we shipping people to Guantanamo Bay. They dying. We gonna cut that too. And now all of a sudden, well, guess what? There was internal bleeding. Taking over Greenland today because, you know, no new wars, but fuck it. We taking that shit over, even though we allies. Why I study for vibes, man? This is how I see it. And Denmark's foreign minister came over. He's like, we're not just gonna give up Greenland. Like, could we just figure something out here? Like, what's going on, son? And he just says, he's like, I don't know. He has this vision. He has to conquer this shit. I'm telling you, bro. Trump be just old, demented, late at night watching movies, and he be like, that's what we about to do.
Hey, when you have all that power, you can do whatever you want. That's just how it is. That's how it's always been.
Ever wonder what's really in your Dunkin' iced coffee? Bubble guts and diabetes incoming.
Wow.
That coffee taste? Yeah, it starts as liquid sugar. Some drinks have up to 185 grams of it.
What?
They load it up with flavored syrups, each one packed with high fructose corn syrup and tons of other junk. You don't care though, right? Then comes the creamer, packed with oils, emulsifiers, and preservatives. Your gut will despise you. Most of the flavor? Not real, just chemical compounds made in a lab. Is this really how you want to start out your day?
Wow.
One large drink with syrup and cream can hit 800 calories before noon, and you haven't even eaten anything yet. Your blood sugar spikes, then crashes, and suddenly you need another one. Addiction never felt so good. So yeah, it's not iced coffee, it's dessert in a cup. Think about that next time you drive by.
You're already infected. Brain rot reels.
Dude, he said one of those can get up to 800 calories and 156 grams of sugar. That is really, really bad for you. I actually knew this girl that worked at Dunkin', and she told me that their eggs are made of gelatin. Gelatin in their eggs. And I was like, why? Why do they need to do that? Like, why couldn't it just be normal eggs? She said they wanted to preserve how it looks. Okay.
A man finds an old suitcase under a bridge in Portland in 2015. It's just sitting there in the dirt, covered in mud. He almost walks past it, but something makes him stop. The suitcase is heavy, really heavy. He drags it home. The locks are rusted shut. He uses a screwdriver to pop them open. Inside are bundles of $20 bills, hundreds of them. His heart starts racing. He counts the money, $15,000. But there's something else, a small notebook at the bottom. He opens it. Every page has dates and numbers written down. Then he sees names, lots of names he doesn't recognize. One name appears over and over, someone named Marcus. He searches that name on his computer. His stomach drops. Marcus was a bank worker who disappeared in 2012. The news said he vanished without a trace. The dates in the notebook match exactly when money went missing from the bank. He keeps reading the notebook. The last page has an address written in red ink. It's only 3 blocks from where he found the suitcase. He grabs his phone and dials.
If you do this, get ready to go to prison. Getting free food from receipts thrown out. Let's see it.
No way, there's actually a receipt. We are going to be copying these items. It says that they got Diet Coke.
From what I can tell, this trend appears to be catching popularity, but I'm here to tell you guys, this is a terrible idea. Don't do this. Gotta be honest, this video feels staged, though I do know a lot of people do this for real. It shows this guy walking up to Target, rummaging through a trash can, finding a used receipt, and then going into the store, collecting everything on the receipt, and walking out with free food and drinks. This is a new method that I've seen a lot of people using in fast food chains, as well as these grocery store chains. And just like the other methods that people have been putting you on to game the system, like the Chase Bank glitch, for example, this is dumb. This is straight up a crime, and you're going to be prosecuted, or at least a good portion of people will be prosecuted. Typically, there's 2 variations of this. People either go in, get the items, and come out, or they'll go in, collect the items, and then pretend to return them for cash. This is classified as either fraud or theft, and depending on where you're at and the context, you could be serving up to a year or even 3 years. And I tell you what, with the rise of AI and facial recognition software and everything else, they're probably keeping tabs on you, and once you reach a certain point, they're going to press charges. This is stupid. Do not do it.
You do something like that, you're cooked. You know what I'm saying? If they catch you, it's over. Sorry, buddy. You're gonna be in the pen for a little bit.
F-16's first flight ever was an accident. Let me explain. On January 20th of 1974, the YF-16 prototype was at Edwards Air Force Base in California getting ready for what was only planned to be a high-speed taxi test. Test pilot Phil Estrecker pushed the jet down the runway, but as it accelerated and reached higher speeds, it seemingly started to lose control as shown here. At that point, instead of trying to force it back under control while on the ground and risk damaging the jet or worse, he made the call to take it airborne. So for the first time ever, the YF-16 lifted off at Edwards Air Force Base, turning a taxi test into the first F-16 flight ever.
It looked like you had a little bit of struggle right there.
Kind of creepy.
You should have turned back. It just keeps going.
Oh, this way.
Bro literally just saw a skeleton.
This is where most people would turn around. If you turn around, you never get to see what's on the other side. That's where all the gold is waiting over there. Could be missing out what's on the other side. Hello?
You didn't get out of there, dude. Yo, did bro just go back? Yo, imagine he turns around and then the whole path was blocked off. Oh my god, I'd literally trip out.
Oh, there's 2 ways. Holy crap, dude, this trail going on forever. It just got really quiet really fast. That was my cue to leave.
The following footage was recorded by hotel security camera on September 14th, 2003. Wow.
What room is that?
It has not been edited.
John, do you copy?
Alright, so we got 4. Never mind.
209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming coming from that room. Amy, he's on his way down there right now.
Who's watching him? Security? Someone's screaming.
What's going on, John? There's no one checked into that room. There should be nobody in there.
So no one should be in that room that they're hearing the screaming from.
Yeah, John says he hears the screaming coming from that room. And I hear it too.
Yeah.
But we're sure that no one's checked into that room. Correct? John, just wait. We're going to get a hold of the police. So, I would wait for the police, John.
John's brave. John's checking it out.
Amy, John's going to enter the room real quick just to check, make sure, see what's going on. Wait one. John? John, are you there? Okay, Amy, John wants you to call the police right now if you don't mind.
What do you see though?
There's no one's in there, but that all of the furniture's been turned upside down and the hold on. He says the carpet's been ripped up and that the shower is on, but nobody's in there. Man, that's scary.
Yeah.
I'm officially freaked out now.
In case you missed it. Oh, proof that the historic winter storm is manufactured. Let's see it.
Something wicked this way comes. That's fucking crazy. A straight fucking line across the sky. Wow.
There's a video going around on social media, and if you haven't seen it, I hope you don't, because it will make you sick to your stomach. Authorities from Hot Springs, Arkansas made an arrest after a violent fight that took place outside of a gas station on Saturday night. When authorities got there, they found 20-year-old Noah Epperson suffering from severe injuries due to the fight. He was taken to the hospital and he is currently in critical condition. When they got there, they also arrested 18-year-old Cooper Campherdam because of what he did to Noah. Now, obviously, I'm not going to show the video on here. You can go look it up if you want. But in the video, it shows Cooper literally jumping on the head of Noah while he is already lying on the ground, flat on his back, defenseless. Noah is currently in intensive care with a fracture to the skull, a fracture to the jaw, and he has hearing loss in his left ear. Noah doesn't have health insurance and he's gonna be out of work, so his best friend set up a GoFundMe for him to help him during this time. Cooper had his first court appearance. His bond was set at $500,000,
Wow.
and he's facing a first-degree battery charge, which is a felony. Police said they plan to make more arrests as they investigate further, but prayers to Noah. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
On December 25th, 2020, a 63-year-old man named Anthony Quinn Warner drove his RV to Nashville, Tennessee's 2nd Avenue and woke up nearby residents with the sound of a robotic digital female voice coming from his RV, warning everyone around the vehicle to evacuate the area.
All buildings in this area must be evacuated now. All buildings in this area must be evacuated now. If you can hear this message, evacuate now.
Wow.
If you can hear this message.
Soon, the female voice repeatedly mentioned that the RV was going to detonate, and a little after 6 a.m., the voice became more and more insistent, announcing that the vehicle would detonate in 15 minutes. In the body cam footage that was later released by the authorities, a group of Nashville police officers can be seen walking around the downtown area, urging any stragglers to evacuate for their own safety.
So you're not doing anything wrong, okay? You're not in trouble, but there is something serious happening down the roadway.
Go for 11.
Okay? Do you mind going down to 2nd and
Where do they need to go when they are evacuated?
That's so weird. That's like something
That is weird. I don't know if it was me, but it was just giving Purge vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like how the movie The Purge, they would have people on speakers in ice cream trucks and stuff like that. It was giving that type of vibe. But me personally, if I heard something like that, I'm immediately evacuating the area, real or fake, because I'm not taking the risk on that.
Remember that famous story about that woman who broke up with that guy and then he burned her face with acid?
What?
Now, the woman's name is Katie, and Katie is 24 years old, living in London. Here's the thing about her. She is apparently very attractive. All her life, people have been telling her that she is fine. Sometimes strangers will come up to her on the street and they'll tell her that she is fine.
Bruh.
And because she's got this going on for her, she has long decided that she's gonna try and make it as a model. And she legitimately has some success. She's gotten some gigs doing some modeling. She's had a few TV appearances in the UK, like she was a presenter on a show that sold solar panels or something. She also worked on a quiz show, and sometimes she works as a ring girl at martial arts matches. So that's cool too.
Yeah.
And because she's working steady, she's making not a lot of money, but more money than she's ever made before. So this is all going really well for her. But then one day in 2008, something happens that's gonna change her life forever. That day, Katie is checking her Facebook, and she sees that she has a message from a guy she doesn't know. And the guy is this dude, Danny. And Danny, he's described as a martial arts enthusiast, which makes it sound like he's one of those guys who is obsessed with MMA. He also doesn't appear to have a job, so there's that. Regardless, he reaches out to Katie on Facebook to, I guess, tell her how fine he thinks she is and to ask her out. Danny had apparently been following her modeling career for a while, like he had seen her in something, and he felt like he needed to go and find her on Facebook and try and talk to her. Which feels creepy to me, but I guess it worked because these two start messaging.
That is a rare pull, chat. You can't just go messaging a model and then boom, expect a response and actually go out with them. Mostly if it's a female, because most females, they just be like, nah, I'm not talking to nobody.
Back and forth. Then they start talking on the phone, and eventually Katie agrees to meet up with him. So they meet up in person, and surprisingly, she's into him. And they go out on a date, and it goes well, so they go out on a second date. And by the end of their second date, Danny likes her so much that he tells her, I love you.
Wow.
And while that may sound like a red flag to us, Katie actually finds Danny sweet and nice and all of those things.
Second date, I love you is crazy. I don't know if I would be scared or like genuinely, I feel like I'd be terrified. Because I'm like, dude, you don't even know me. What do y'all think about that, chat?
So after that, Danny starts coming on even stronger. He's asking to see Katie every single day. Even Katie's friends are like, are you sure about this guy? He's kind of weird. But Katie keeps on going out with him. And as they continue to see each other, Danny starts to get a bit controlling. Like, he's demanding that she not spend so much time with her friends because he wants to be with her every day. Now, keep in mind that at this point in the story, they've only been dating for 2 weeks. So one night, they go on another date in London. And after the date, they decide to stay the night in a local hotel. And there, I guess Danny's expecting that they are going to smash, which I'm sure they had done before, but on this particular night, Katie, she's just not feeling it, for whatever reason. She doesn't want to do it, and she's just going to go to bed instead. And this pisses Danny off. He takes this rejection personally, like she insulted him, and he starts to feel like he's losing her. So he starts swearing at her, and he threatens her, like, who does she think she is, rejecting him like that? And this guy becomes completely unhinged, and he starts beating her up, and he threatens to murder her, and he won't let her leave. And 1 minute...
All because she said she was tired. What is this dude doing?
He's screaming at her. The next minute, he's crying.
Oh, no.
Then he also SAs her. And this torture goes on for 8 hours. Until finally, Katie is able to convince Danny that everything is going to be fine and that they can still continue to date. So he allows her to leave and go home. Obviously, she has no intention of continuing this relationship. She just wanted to get the hell out of there. So Katie goes back to her apartment and she locks herself in there. And she feels too traumatized to report him to the police at this point because, you know, he was threatening to kill her. So 2 days go by. And Katie is still in her apartment. And she hasn't left or spoken to anyone. But Danny's crazy ass has been calling over and over and over again. He's also sent a ton of texts and emails and Facebook messages. And so Katie messages him back. And she tells him that she wants nothing to do with him. I mean, she's actually afraid of him. And so he starts blaming his abusive behavior in that hotel on steroids that he had taken, because I guess he's on steroids and he claims he had taken too much. But the main thing he keeps texting her is that he wants her to leave her apartment to go to a nearby internet cafe to read some emails that he had sent her, because it's 2008 and I guess she doesn't have a smartphone and she can't check emails with her phone. And he spends hours begging her to do this. Please go read this email I sent you, before he finally says, okay, if you go to the cafe and read this important email I sent you, I will leave you alone forever. And this is the point where Katie finally agrees. Fine, I'll go read your stupid email. So she leaves the apartment and she starts walking toward this internet cafe. 1 minute after she leaves her place, her phone rings and it's Danny. And he's asking her where she is and what she's wearing. Because what she doesn't know is that Danny has hired a goon to wait outside her apartment until she walks by, and then he's going to attack her. That's why Danny wants her to leave her place so bad. That attacker friend is this guy, Stefan. And so Stefan is outside in his hoodie, and he's holding a cup of coffee full of sulfuric acid. Once he sees Katie, he walks up to her and kaboom, he throws that acid directly in her face. And there's actually CCTV footage of the whole attack, so you can see Katie here, and Stefan is here, and there he throws it in her face. Now keep in mind that she's still on the phone with Danny, so he's hearing her scream, and he's probably happy that his plan worked. And so Stefan runs away, while Katie also runs away into a nearby cafe and yells for help. And from there, someone calls an ambulance and she's rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, police investigate and they start looking for Katie's attacker. And, you know, there's CCTV footage of him, so pretty quickly they find Stefan and he's got acid burns on his hands, and so, bam, police arrest him. Here's his mugshot. And it only takes a few days before Stefan flips and he tells police that it was Danny who put him up to it. And so, bam, police arrest Danny too. Here's his mugshot. And while that's going on, Katie is in the hospital. And she has to undergo serious treatment. She's been blinded in her left eye. She essentially has no eyelids and her nose has been completely burned off. She also swallowed some of the acid, so her esophagus and stomach are all fucked up. She's got all kinds of damage. And so she spends 12 days in the ICU and 7 weeks in the burn unit, and she has to have tons of reconstructive surgeries. But Katie is a fighter. She is not about to give up. After she recovers, she becomes a motivational speaker and she writes books, and she starred in and produced in more than one documentary.
Wow.
I want to be able to shout and laugh and my face to feel loose and moist. And that's what's important for me, not restoring what, society says is beautiful.
So clearly, she is thriving. She's doing really well these days. While Stefan, he gets sentenced to 6 years in prison, and Danny, he gets sentenced to 16 years to life in prison. And also, here is a picture of Katie today. And she's obviously thriving, so good for her.
That's amazing, chat. That's crazy. Even when she had the acid thrown in her face, she didn't look ugly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it kind of looked like a little bit like off, but she wasn't ugly. And even right here, she looks perfectly normal. We love stories like that, chat. Like, even look, like right here, I'm guessing this is probably like a year, 6 months, year, maybe even 2 after the incident happened. And you know what I'm saying? She still doesn't look bad.